Douluo, Star Officials Challenge, everyone is stronger than Tang San. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author, we do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Period. Chapter 1 Lucky Xingyu, go to the Misty Forest to accept the challenge of the Star Official Wuhun City, Pope's Hall. Pope Bibi sat in a high position, holding a gemstone scepter in his hand. She looked majestically at the few elders who left after reporting the affairs below, and smiled coldly. This account with you, Liena, since the Continental Elite Soul Master competition ended that year, Tang San has become your inner demon, but it also inspired you to practice hard for 3 years, break through the Death Canyon, and your strength has been greatly improved. Based on the time now, Elder Ju and Elder Gui are escorting you, and you should have almost reached the capital of killing, right? Suddenly, a golden feather broke through the space and appeared in front of her, glowing with divine golden light. Bibi Dong's face was astonished, her brows were furrowed, she actually sensed a mysterious and unpredictable energy from the golden feather, subconsciously stretched out her slender fingers, and touched it lightly. The next moment, a majestic voice of a man sounded in his mind. Whoever wins the star feather can go to the misty forest outside the killing capital to accept the challenge of the star official before midnight tonight, and the star feather will disappear automatically. Bibi Dong's complexion changed instantly. She looked around and said angrily, "Who the hell? How dare you play tricks here?" However, the Pope's palace was quiet, and no matter how she searched, she found nothing. Could it be that the voice just now came from this golden feather? Bibi Dong picked up the feather and examined it carefully, and found that there was nothing special about it other than the mysterious aura. HMPH, if you let me know who is pretending to be a ghost, he must pay the price. She casually threw Xingyu aside, got up and returned to the bedroom holding the gemstone scepter as the Pope of the Wuhun Temple with a soul power of 98. How could he be fooled by such a kid? The Star Dao Forest, the mixed zone, some hidden place. A young man is shirtless, practicing under a waterfall. The man had a handsome appearance, his eyes were ruthless, and he let the waterfall hit his body. After a while, Tang San exhaled heavily. Complete today's practice task and walk out of the waterfall. At this time, a golden feather appeared in front of him. He stared vigilantly at the feather that appeared out of thin air in front of him, purple demon eyes. His eyes were purple, but unfortunately he didn't get anything. What a strange feather, it appeared out of thin air. It clearly exudes a mysterious aura, but my purple demon eyes can't see through it. The killing capital to accept the challenge of the star official before midnight tonight, and the star feather will disappear automatically. Tang San's face changed drastically. He looked around vigilantly, and the Ziji magic pupils were mobilizing to observe everything. After a long time staring at Xingyu in his hand, he murmured, "Could it be that the voice just now came from this golden feather? Is this Xingyu? What's the use? Where is the foggy forest outside the killing capital? Who on earth sent this star feather to me?" Tang San was full of doubts, and a middle-aged man's vicissitudes of life sounded in the distance. "Little San, how is your practice today?" He looked up and found that it was his father Tang Hao, so he quickly put Xingyu in the wishful treasure bag and walked over. To the northwest of the slaughter capital, in the misty forest around, all of which were mercilessly beheaded, Douluo Yuguan looked at Ghost Douluo Gimei, then at Liena and said, "Nana, as long as we pass through this foggy forest, we will be able to reach our destination, the killing capital. Take a rest here first, and then continue on your way." Liena pulled the reins and controlled a white horse to stop. She has a charming temperament like a fox, and her naturally charming eyes are slightly narrow. The icy light exudes makes people shudder. He nodded and said, "Okay, Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Ghost." Then he tied the reins of the white horse to the tree trunk next to him, took out the water bottle and took a sip of water. She looked in the direction of the killing capital in the north. Her eyes were extremely excited. Suddenly, a golden feather appeared in front of Liena, exuding a mysterious aura. Yuguan and Gimei rushed over immediately, and they stared at the golden feather with serious eyes. Yuguan frowned and said, "This feather is weird, I can't see through it with my strength." Ghost didn't speak, but from his always gloomy face, it could be seen that he was very vigilant now. Liena also looked at the golden feather that appeared with a serious expression. He stretched out his hand tentatively and touched it lightly. A man's majestic voice sounded in his mind, "Whoever wins the star feather can go to the misty outside the killing forest capital to accept the challenge of the star official before midnight tonight, and the star feather will disappear automatically." When Liena heard this voice, her pupils contracted visibly. Yugwen found something was wrong and asked anxiously, "Nana, what's wrong with you?" Ghost looked worriedly. Liena looked around vigilantly, and it took a long time to confirm that the sound came from the golden feather. Stretching out his hand to hold Xingyu in his hand, he looked at the two and explained, "Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Ghost, just when I touched this feather, a man's voice sounded in my mind. It probably means that I should take this star feather with me, go to the foggy forest outside the killing capital and accept the challenge from the star officials. This star feather will automatically disappear at midnight," Ghost said in surprise. "Xingyu? Star officials challenge, Yugwen, Nana, we are now in the foggy forest. Could it be the enemy's trap?" Yugwen nodded heavily and said, "It's very possible. This little trick of pretending to be a ghost is really too crude. We can't be fooled. Leave here now, lest you have long nights and dreams." Liena nodded seriously, and put away the Xingyu in her hand consistent with the energy emitted by Xingyu. The point is, in the very center of the arena, a silver-haired man in white was sitting cross-legged on a futon with a handsome face and unparalleled temperament. He is like a banished fairy who has descended from the mortal world. He doesn't have any soul power breath on his body. Just an ordinary person, but it gives people a sense of sacredness and dignity, which cannot be desecrated. On the futon, Lin Feng opened a small slit with his right eye, and looked at the three people approaching here in the distance. Short orange hair, wearing a cheongsam, naturally exuding charm, accompanied by two middle-aged men. It seems that they are Liena, Yugwen and Ghost. Lin Feng is a traveler who has read the novel Douluo. Like other traversers, he successfully activated the system according to the requirements of the system, as long as he plays the role of star official. In the Douluo Continent, open star official challenges for lucky people every day. After 10 years, you will be able to obtain the eternal ultimate power of Douluo, the plane and Liena. I didn't expect Liena to find her so quickly. He slowly opened his eyes, looked at the three people who came to the ring, and said majestically, "Congratulations, Liena. You have been selected by Xingyu and become one of the three lucky ones today. Take out the star feathers you got, and start accepting the Star Officials Challenge." Chapter 2 Liena's Star Official Attack Challenge. Rating D. Random soul ring years increased by 2,000 years beside the arena. Liena and Yugwen walked here on foot. The three of them looked vigilant and kept their eyes on the silver-haired man in the center of the ring. The misty forest is located outside the slaughter capital. It is remote and inaccessible, surrounded by thousand-year-old soul beasts. In such a place, there would be a mysterious and unpredictable arena, which is really weird. In particular, the aura emanating from the ring was the same as the aura emanating from the Xingyu that Liena had obtained. It was too strange to think of what Liena heard. "Nana, don't go there, be careful." Yugwen stood in front of Liena, and secretly released her mental power to investigate the silver-haired man on the ring, but was crushed back by a terrifying force, with ki and blood, and her face was pale. Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Moon Clothes, Liena and Gimri supported Yugwen on both sides, feeling extremely worried. Yugwen shook his head, and said fearfully, "This person is very strong." Period. Liena and Gui both looked in the direction of the ring after hearing the words. Seeing that Yugwen's mental power was frustrated, Gimri didn't dare to test it easily. The suggestion said, "Nana, Yugwen, since this place is weird, why don't we leave here as soon as possible?" Yugwen nodded in approval. It must be something wrong for a master whose strength is far stronger than him to appear here. Liena took out the star feather and held it in her hand, feeling the mysterious power emanating from it. He looked solemnly at the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring, carefully studied the other's handsome face, moved his throat and said, "Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Ghost, perhaps this senior has no ill intentions towards us. Let's go over and have a look. By the way, what is the challenge of Xingyu and Xingwen?" As Liena said, she walked towards the ring. Carrying looked at Ghost with lingering fear. The two hesitated and followed on the futon. Through a gap in the corner of his eyes, Lin Feng saw the three people walking up, and his body stood upright. Not long after, Liena and Yugwen, Ghost came to him. Holding the golden star feather in her hand, Liena nodded to the vigilant Yugwen and Ghost. Wei bowed and saluted, and said respectfully, "Liena, meet Senior, directly." Inwardly, he secretly compared the other party with the female stars who appeared on the screen in his previous life, and found that it was a complete hang-up. With a calm surface, His eyes were as calm as an ancient well, and he said lightly, Liena, congratulations on being one of the 3 lucky ones selected today. Irrelevant personnel leave the ring immediately. You are ready to accept the Star Official Challenge. Yu Guan and Gimi stood beside Liena, and they had no intention of going down to the ring. Just kidding. Let the saint of Wuhun Temple stay with a stranger? Absolutely not. If anything goes wrong with Liena, Pope Bibi Dong will not spare them. Liena's gaze was fixed on the silver-haired man's face from the beginning to the end. Even though she was born as a saintess of Wuhan, she has seen countless geniuses. She was still amazed by the silver-haired man in front of her, who looked about her age. Not to mention that he can easily reverse the spiritual power of Douluo, a level 95 soul power, and his strength is unfathomable. Just this impeccably beautiful and prosperous face made her instantly attracted. Beautiful women attract handsome men, and handsome men attract beautiful women. This is out of everyone's biological instinct. After Liena was absent-minded for a short while, her cheeks flushed slightly, and she pulled her hair in embarrassment. Calm down and dare to ask seniors, can you explain to me what is the Star Official Challenge? Senior, why did you send this star feather to me? Lin Feng noticed that Liena was staring at him in a daze. And they will be able to accept the challenge of the Star Officials. The content of the Star Officials Challenge covers a very wide range. As long as you accept the challenge and make the challenge, you can get various rewards. Whether the reward is rich or not depends mainly on your own good fortune. Of course, you can also give up the qualification. Xingyu will disappear automatically at midnight every night. Liena was taken aback when she heard this, and reason told her not to trust the other party easily. But when he saw that impeccable face, he nodded and said, I understand, senior, so how can I accept the Star Officer's Challenge now? Yu Guan hurriedly stopped and said, Nana, no, this person appeared in this barren mountain. His identity is unknown. Be careful. Ghost also persuaded, that's right, Nana, the purpose of our trip is to go to the killing capital. Mouth An explained, it won't take much time to accept the Star Officer's Challenge. Also, the final reward may be spirit bones, spirit rings, or various genius treasures. Now or never. Liena, you should have thought it through. His voice fell into Liena's ears as if possessing magical power. She took a deep breath, looked at Yu Guan and Ghost and said in a concentrated voice, Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Ghost, why don't you two go down first, and after I accept the Star Officer's Challenge, we will go to the killing capital together. Nana, you are so confused, Yu Guan said in a hurry. I have never heard of any Star Official Challenge on the Douluo Continent. Can you still reward spirit bones in the end? Soul rings? Genius treasures. I'm not afraid to laugh my teeth out when I say it. Nana, let's get out of here quickly. Be obedient. Gimi stood quietly, but from his solemn expression, it could be seen that he was standing on the side of Yu Guan. Seeing that Liena became embarrassed, Lin Feng snorted coldly and said, it's not your turn to play wild on my territory. Immediately afterwards, an invisible mysterious energy enveloped Yu Guan and the ghosts and threw them out of the ring. Yu Guan and Gui fell to the ground twitching and rolling, foaming at the mouth, looking as embarrassed as they could be. Liena watched this scene, and then looked at the silver-haired man in front of her. From the previous awe to fear and anxiety, she is very clear about the strength of Yu Guan and ghosts. It was so easy to be suppressed by the other party, and he hurriedly saluted and begged, I hope seniors don't embarrass Grandpa Ju and Grandpa Ghost. I will accept the Star Official's Challenge. I will accept it. Lin Feng nodded in satisfaction and said, inject the soul power into Xingyu. Liena glanced worriedly at Yu Guan, who had slowed down from the ring and got up in a panic. Ghostly. He could only nod his head and inject his soul power into Xingyu in his hand. Liena stared at the golden feathers floating in the air, nodded and took out a bloody dagger. He jumped up and attacked Xingyu heavily with fierce moves. Lin Feng was not surprised by the damage Liena dealt. The opponent's martial soul is a demon fox, and each soul ring is related to charm. Its own single target attack ability is weak, but it can perform martial soul fusion skills with ZU. He looked at Liena under the ring, and said softly, Liena, you have dealt 5,300 points of damage with this attack, rated E, come up to receive the reward. Chapter 3. The Star Official challenges the Golden Monument and informs Bibi Dong to arrest Tang San under the ring. Liena clutched her chest and turned slightly pale. She didn't expect that when she hit Xingyu with all her strength, the attack would all bounce back. At this moment, she looked at the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring, her eyes showing some doubts. After hearing what the other party said about damage, ratings, rewards, etc., I became hesitant. The expressions were very ugly. Yu Guan wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and said in a cold voice, Nana, stop being fooled by him, hurry up, the old ghost and I will stay behind to hold him back, go quickly, Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Ghost, I won't go. The person on the ring could easily suppress and injure Yu Guan and Ghost. It proves that the opponent's strength is far above them. Facing such a terrifying strong man, if he really has malicious intentions, no one can escape here. Even if Yu Guan and Gimme stay and try their best, they can delay each other. Liena also absolutely did not allow the two grandfathers who loved her in every possible way since she was a child to be put in danger. Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Ghost, don't worry, I'll be fine. I believe that senior has no malice. Liena stepped onto the ring resolutely. Yu Guan and Gimme were anxious and wanted to follow. However, he was shocked by the power of the formation near the ring, and looked worried. Liena walked onto the ring step by step, walking on thin ice. Taking a deep breath, he bowed and said, Senior, I'm here to receive the reward. Lin Feng looked at Liena in front of him, and saw how she looked at death like home. Reluctantly smiled and said, I'm not going to eat you, why should I show such a scared expression? Liena smiled stiffly, and replied, Senior, this is excitement, I don't know what rewards I can get, so I'm looking forward to it. Lin Feng didn't expose the other party's small thoughts. Girls all want face. He nodded and said, Liena, congratulations on your 5,300 damage, rated D. This is your reward. The lifespan of the random soul ring is increased by 2,000 years. Immediately, a ball of white light appeared in his hand, flew over and entered Liena's body. Liena's expression froze. She was restless and nervous for a second. It's amazing, it's unbelievable, Liena muttered to herself, then looked up at the silver-haired man on the futon. His eyes showed admiration and gratitude. Unexpectedly, instead of being malicious, the other party gave her a fortune. Liena, thank you senior for the reward. She knelt down on one knee, clenched her right hand into a fist and put it on her left chest to salute, with a reverent expression on her face at this time. Yu Guan and Ghost under the ring. Watching Liena's first soul ring turn purple, the age is more than 2,000 years. Both of them were stunned, feeling that the worldview had collapsed. After absorbing the spirit ring, it can actually be improved. Simply shocking, unprecedented. Now, all the prejudice against Lin Feng disappeared, and all that remained was awe. Lin Feng looked at Liena in front of him, smiled lightly and said, Liena, you don't have to thank me, being able to get lucky Zingai was all because of your own luck. As he spoke, he took back the star feathers in the sky and put them into the system space. Listening to the other party's words, Liena seemed to understand something. The next moment, Yu Guan's excited voice came from beside his ear, Nana, look quickly, a golden monument appears in the sky, the word attack is engraved on the head of the steel, and Nana, your name is ranked first. Liena looked up, and she really saw the golden monument in the sky. His own name appeared behind the number 1 sequence. This golden monument is vast and boundless, exuding an aura similar to Xingyu, mysterious and unpredictable. Liena became short of breath, looked at Lin Feng and asked cautiously, dare to ask senior, why is there such a golden monument in the sky? Lin Feng replied, that's the Star Official Challenge Monument, used to record the highest rating for each type of challenge. There will be a liquidation every third night at midnight. The top 3 creatures will receive different rewards of A+, B+, and C+, respectively. Liena's eyes brightened slightly, and she couldn't help but glance at the golden monument above the sky. Excitedly asked, Senior, can you briefly tell me what levels the rewards are divided into? Lin Feng was delighted to see a beauty like Liena. He was very happy to answer her question and said, in my case, the rewards are divided into 7 levels from low to high, D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS. Each level also has a difference between plus and comma. The reward you got this time is D, that is the lowest level of rewards. D+ rewards will be better than D rewards, and so on. Lin Feng answered here, closed his eyes again and said, okay, I made an exception to answer a few questions for you. Go on. Today you have accepted this Star Officer's challenge. I wish you good luck. Immediately afterwards, an invisible mysterious energy enveloped Liena. Take her body and fall out of the ring. Yu Guan and Ghosts came to meet them. Yu Guan said excitedly, Nana, I didn't expect you to actually get a reward. The first soul ring, the lifespan has been increased by 2,000 years. Liena raised her chin, giggled and said, Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Ghost, didn't you two just say that Senior is a liar? How come the attitude has changed so quickly now? Yu Guan and Gimri blushed. Yu Guan coughed likely to ease the embarrassment and said, Nana, it's me and the old ghost who don't know Taishan, so we shouldn't question Senior. Hurry up and tell me what the seniors told you. The ghost also cast curious and excited eyes. Liena hurriedly told about the reward levels of the Star Official Challenge and the Star Official Challenge ranking monument. After Yu Guan and Gimri listened, both showed envious expressions. The D reward can increase the lifespan of the soul ring by 2,000 years. They didn't even dare to think about the 3-day C+, B+, and A+ rewards for the golden monument. They all envied Liena for getting lucky. Xingyu tense. A few minutes passed, when Liena felt hopeless. Lin Feng still closed his eyes, and said slowly, talk. Liena was overwhelmed with surprise, and asked cautiously, dare to ask Senior, how many lucky star feathers do you distribute randomly every day? Lin Feng replied, 3. Liena asked again, dare to ask Senior, is there any special way to get lucky star feathers? Lin Feng replied, no, Senior, can you reveal it? Apart from me getting lucky Xingyu today, who else got lucky Xingyu? Lin Feng paused and replied, Bibi Dong, Tang San. After the words fell, a powerful energy erupted from the entire arena, sending the shocked Liena, Yu Guan, and the ghost far away. Nana, Grandpa Ju, I'm fine. After Liena stabilized her body, she nodded to Yu Guan. Yu Guan looked at the ghost, with a serious expression on his face. He said, old ghost, Nana and I are staying nearby. If Tang San dares to accept the challenge from the Star Official, we will take this opportunity to arrest him and bring him back to the Spirit Hall. Hurry back to Wuhun City as quickly as possible, and truthfully report the matter of the Star Official's challenge to His Majesty the Pope, and let her hurry to the Misty Forest to accept the Star Official's challenge. Ghost nodded, expressing support for such an arrangement, and after parting with the two, rushed to Wuhun City at the fastest speed. Liena looked in the direction of the Slaughter City, and went to the Slaughter City to practice. Where was the excitement of accepting the challenge of the Star Official? Chapter 4. Bibi Dong's questioning. Tang Hao thinks it's a conspiracy of Wuhundian. Liena was selected again. Douluo Continent. Above the sky, the huge golden monument that appeared out of caused nowhere a huge commotion. The golden steel exudes a mysterious and unpredictable atmosphere, as if it came from the ancient times, majestic and inviolable at first. Everyone thought it was a vision that appeared between heaven and earth at most. It's just a joke after drinking and teasing. But after the first line sequence on the golden tablet, when the 3 characters Liena were derived, the whole world of Soul Masters was shocked and went crazy over it. The Continental Elite Soul Master Competition 3 years ago, there are 2 extremely popular characters, that is Tang San and Liena. As a student of Shrek Academy, Tang San possessed 10th level innate full soul power twin martial souls. One is the waste martial soul Blue Silver Grass, and the other is the Clear Sky Hammer, which is known as the first martial soul in the mainland. It was also because of the existence of the Clear Sky Hammer that the Shrek team finally defeated the team from the Spirit Hall and won the first place in the competition. Liena, she represented the Wuhundian team in the competition 3 years ago. He has a very high talent and is one of the 3 members of the golden generation of Wuhundian. She is also the direct disciple of Pope Bibi Dong of Wuhundian, the saint of Wuhundian. These 2 noble identities have created an extremely high reputation in the Soul Master world. At this moment, all forces and Soul Masters in the entire Douluo Continent, but they were pushed back and could not approach. Gradually, the mysterious golden monument became the hottest topic in the entire Douluo Continent. Let the world that has been silent for a long time become lively and active again. Wuhun Palace, Wuhun City, the Pope's bedroom. Holding the gemstone scepter in his hand, Bibi Dong stared at the word Liena on the golden tablet in the sky with cold eyes, frowned, and murmured, Nana, according to the time, you should have reached the capital of killing by this time, but why does your name appear on the mysterious golden tablet? These days you were with Ju Douluo and Ghost Douluo. What happened? Suddenly, the Pope found that the aura emanating from the golden monument was very familiar, and he was shocked and said, the aura emanating from the mysterious golden monument is exactly the same as the aura of the golden feather I got before. Immediately, her body disappeared in place. And it didn't take long to appear next to the throne of the Pope's palace. After seeing the abandoned golden feather on the ground, An excited smile appeared on his cold face. Bibi Dong picked up Jinyu, wiped off the stains and said, "Could it be that the appearance of the mysterious golden monument is related to this feather, foggy forest? Star Official Challenge, will this feather disappear by itself? So-called Star Officials Challenge is true or not, but before midnight tonight, it is impossible to reach the foggy forest." Bibi Dong's expression returned to ice cold and she left. This time she put Xingyu away and did not throw it away. On the other side, in the mixed area of the Star Dao forest, somewhere hidden holding the golden feather in his hand, Tang San gazed at the golden monument in the sky. Looking at the three words Liena on it, he clenched his fists violently. He murmured, "The aura emanating from that mysterious golden tablet is actually the same as the aura emanating from this golden feather. Is it true that the challenge of the Star Officer in the foggy forest is true? Liena already accepted the challenge one step ahead of me." Tang San operated the purple demon eye, and found that he couldn't see through the mysterious golden monument at all. Official challenge. He would definitely regret it. At this time, Tang Hao came to his son and patted his shoulder. A deep and powerful voice asked, "Little San, what's wrong with you?" Tang San looked at his father, and told about Jinyu and Xingwen's challenge. After Tang Hao listened, he sneered and said, "Little San, from my point of view, the so-called Star Official Challenge and the Golden Monument, it's all a trap created by Wuhun Temple, just to lure you to show up. Besides, the foggy forest is located near the killing capital. Before midnight tonight, it will not be reached at all. It's useless to keep such a gadget." With that said, Tang Hao snatched the golden feather from Tang San's hand, and threw it towards the cliff in front of him. Tang San moderately without thinking too much, there is a deep hatred between him and Wuhun Temple. In any case, you must never go out easily, otherwise it will be extremely dangerous. And just like that, the sun went down and night fell. The discussion on the mysterious golden tablet has not diminished in the slightest. Pope Bibi Dong has received letters from the Presbyterian Hall and the Shrine Hall many times, and he wants to know why Liena's name appears on the mysterious golden tablet. Bibi Dong was very helpless, because she didn't know why. Late at night, midnight in the Pope's bedroom, Bibi Dong was lying sideways on the bed in a pajamas as thin as a cicada's wings outline a plump, charming good figure. The skin is supple and fair, just like a newborn baby. Women are no longer as cold as in the daytime, repelling people thousands of miles away. Instead, it looks gentle and charming, and a frown and a smile are enough to turn all living beings upside down. Bibi Dong played with a golden feather in her hand, secretly counting the time. Sure enough, as soon as the time and Zishi came, Jinyu disappeared out of thin air, in the foggy forest, on the futon in the center of the arena. Lin Feng looked at the two golden feathers that appeared in his palm, smiled and said, "It's time. Let's call it a day. Tomorrow's three lucky ones, come out." Another golden feather was taken out, and the golden light turned into three names. Liena, Feng Zai Ocean, Tang San. Huh? 3 random quotas. Why are there 2 duplicates? Tang San didn't come to accept the lucky challenge today. There's a high probability that he won't come tomorrow either. Lin Feng guessed and said, Liena is lucky to be selected by Lucky Xingyu twice in a row. Feng Zai Ocean? This name sounds familiar. I remembered. Feng Zai Ocean is from Shenfeng Academy. He is that blazing academy. Huao's licking dog. Licking a dog is something that everyone can get and punish. The place that randomly appears tomorrow is actually Wuhun City. It seems that Tang San really won't show up, and licking dog Feng Zai Ocean doesn't dare to come. I don't know what kind of expression Bibi Dong will have tomorrow after missing the chance to accept the Star Officials Challenge. I'm really looking forward to it. Lin Feng smiled playfully, mobilizing mysterious energy to envelop the entire arena. The next moment, the arena disappeared out of thin air and appeared in Wuhun City Square. Lin Feng got up and moved his hands and feet, then turned around and entered a compartment at the back of the ring to rest. A fire rose from the ground, burning brightly. Liena's mind was on the ring not far away. She was burning with anxiety. No, it's past time. Teacher has not rushed to the foggy forest. It seems that he has lost the opportunity to accept the challenge of the Star Officer. This is really a pity, Liena said regretfully to herself, with a cold killing intent on her face. Tang San, oh Tang San, I didn't expect you to escape a catastrophe, but you also lost the chance to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Zhu Douluo Yuguan next to him sighed and said, this place is far away from Wuhan City. Even if the old ghost is driving at full speed, it should still be on the way now. And I can't rush back to Wuhan City to inform the Pope about the Star Officials Challenge. I don't know when will be the next time I can get Lucky Star Feather again. Liena and Wuhun looked at each other, and 3 lucky star feathers are randomly distributed every day, and there are hundreds of millions of creatures on the mainland. The chances of getting it are really small. The next moment, a light appeared in the darkness. In front of Liena, a golden feather squeezed out from the space. Chapter 5. Appearing in the arena of Wuhun City, Bibi Dong felt sorry for the preciousness of the golden feathers in front of her eyes. Her little face flushed. She covered her mouth with her little hand and became incoherent. The little face was filled with a joyful smile. Chrysanthemum Douluo looked at Lucky Jinyu and was stunned. The round eyes are full of wonder. After reacting, he leaned over excitedly and shouted in a trembling voice, "Nana, I didn't expect you to be chosen by the lucky golden feather again." Liena nodded with a smile. Breathing rapidly, she slowly stretched out her hand to hold Jinyu in her hand. Suddenly, a man's majestic voice sounded in his mind. "Those who have won the star feather can go to Wuhun City to accept the challenge of the star official before tomorrow's time, and the star feather will disappear automatically." Liena was stunned, and subconsciously looked not far away. The arena that was there today disappeared out of nowhere. There was shock in her eyes. Looking at Wuhun in front of him, he said excitedly, "Grandpa Ju, tomorrow's challenge location has been refreshed randomly. This time, it's in our Wuhun City. Let's hurry back and report this news to the teacher." Wuhun showed joy, and looked not far away when he found that the arena surrounded by supreme formations had disappeared. "In my heart, I am even more in awe of the people on the Fudan. Period. Nana, we're on our way overnight. It will be almost noon tomorrow, and we will be able to return to Wuhun City." Liena and Wuhun looked at each other and nodded. After putting out the flames, he got on his horse and drove towards the direction of leaving the foggy forest. Star officials are challenging, and Liena is getting rewards. After the first soul ring was upgraded to 2000 years, he was full of desire for it. "I didn't expect to have a 1 in a billion chance to be selected twice in a row." She is already looking forward to tomorrow's reward. In addition, the ranking on the mysterious golden tablet. As long as you maintain the first place for 2 more days, you will be rewarded with an A+ level. D level rewards can get 2000 random soul ring years. Liena didn't even dare to think about the A+ grade reward. He only knew that if he ran into his old enemy Tang San next time, he would surely be able to avenge his shame. Starred out Great Forest, near a certain cave in the mixed zone. Tang San held a burning stick in his hand. After leaving the cave, he took out a feather exuding sacred golden light from his bosom. The pupils flowed through the purple ons, and he said to himself with a cold snort, "This lucky golden feather has appeared again." Shrek team. It was in Wuhun City, where I went through untold hardships with other friends, won the championship of the Continental Elite Soul Master competition and won the supreme honor. But it was also at that time that he formed an enmity with Wuhun Tian. If Tang Hao hadn't arrived in time, his girlfriend Xiao Wu would definitely fall into the hands of Wuhun Tian. Later Tang San was taken away by Tang Hao, and Xiao Wu had already left when he woke up. From then on, he devoted himself to cultivation, just to be strong enough in the future. Go find your lover, and then report to Wuhun Tian for killing your mother and killing your wife. Wuhun Tian, Bibi Dong, you are really trying so hard to find me. Tang San, don't you just want to trick me into appearing? Such tricks are too low. Bibi Dong, one day I, Tang San, will definitely set foot on the spirit hall, avenge you for killing my mother and murdering Xiao Wu, all of them. I want the Hall of Spirits to disappear from the mainland, otherwise it will be hard to get rid of the hatred in my heart. Tang San roared sharply. The sound spread far and far in the quiet night. Countless forest birds were startled, and the star feathers in their hands were thrown towards the cliff. In the village east of Wuhun City, a man and a woman stopped. The man was dressed in a blue suit and a black mask. A pair of sharp eyes like eagle hooks are exposed. The woman has exquisite facial features and a hot figure, especially her dark red hair. It made her look like a flame, eye-catching. Those who have won the star feather can go to Wuhun City to accept the challenge of the star official before tomorrow's time, and the star feather will disappear automatically. Feng Zai Ocean's fingers touched Jinyu, and a man's majestic voice sounded in his mind. Ho Wu hurriedly said with worry and concern, "Zai Ocean, what's wrong with you? Don't scare me." Feng Zai Ocean came to his senses, and held the golden feather in his hand that was exuding a sacred golden light. Shocked, he looked up at the mysterious golden monument hanging high in the night sky. Grabbing Ho Wu's hands, he said excitedly, "Ho Wu, just now a man's voice appeared in my mind. Tell me that this golden feather is named Lucky Star Feather. Let me rush to Wuhun City to accept the Star Officer's challenge before tomorrow's midnight. The most important thing is that the mysterious aura emitted by the golden feather is exactly the same as the aura on the mysterious golden tablet. So I guess Liena must have gotten a lucky golden feather too. Her name can appear on the mysterious golden tablet. Wu frowned when she heard the word Liena. With hatred in his eyes, he said worriedly, Xia Ocean, I have never heard of the star official challenge you mentioned, and the mysterious golden monument in the sky appears during the day, and you will get the lucky star feather at night. Feng Xia Ocean calmed down a little from his excitement, nodded and said, Wu, it's better for you to be considerate and not rule out the possibility you mentioned. It just so happens that we are not far from Wuhan City now. It's better to rush over now and enter the city in disguise. How about going to find out about the Star Officer's challenge before making a decision? Although I broke through to level 52 Soul King. Tang San's talent is not bad. I don't want to give up any chance to get a chance. When Wu thought of Tang San, her eyes were obviously startled. Then he nodded his head and looked at Feng Xia Ocean and said, Xia Ocean, in order to defeat Tang San, let's work hard together and go to Wuhan City together. Immediately, Feng Xia Ocean and Wu clasped their fingers together. Both of them had happy smiles on their faces. There is a deep affection for each other. In Wuhan City Square, a ring that appeared out of thin air was discovered. Many people approached the ring curiously, but were blocked by the invisible defensive formation. The news here spread quickly, more and more passers-by watched, and the matter continued to ferment. The next day, early in the morning, Pope Bibi Dong holds a gemstone scepter in the Pope's palace below. He said in a cold voice, Ghost Douluo, why did you come back alone? Where are Ju Douluo and others? Did the two of you escort Nana to the killing capital? After a long journey, the ghost looked tired, but he saluted excitedly and said, My lord, Yu Guan and I escorted Nana to the foggy forest yesterday. During the rest, Nana accidentally got a golden feather named Lucky Golden Feather. When Bibi Dong heard the words Lucky Xingao, her heart tightened suddenly. Asked, What? Nana also got Lucky Star Feather. Could it be that the mysterious golden monument that appeared in the sky is because Nana accepted the challenge from the Star Officer? Ghost did not expect the Pope to guess so much all at once, and said in response, Yes, His Excellency, everything is as you imagined. After Nana got the Lucky Star Feather, we are in the foggy forest. I found a ring, and there is a silver-haired man sitting on a futon in the center of the ring. He called himself a Star Officer and started a Star Officer challenge for Nana. According to what that person said, Nana launched an attack on Xingao, causing more than 5,000 D-level damage, and won the reward of increasing the lifespan of the first spirit ring by 2,000 years. Gimri didn't tell the story of him and Yuguan being crushed, but told the rest. After Bibi Dong listened, she showed shock. Her hand holding the gemstone scepter tightened, and she trembled violently. Liena missed the Star Official's challenge that would allow Liena's first spirit ring to be upgraded for 2,000 years. What's more, if you want to get lucky star feathers, the chance is 1 in a billion, so it's not easy. In addition, with Tang Hao present, Ju Douluo could not pose a threat to Tang San at all, so there is only one possibility. Tang San did not go to the Misty Forest yesterday to accept the Star Official's challenge. Chapter 6 The Ghost Leopard Who Went to Investigate. Yan's attack formation was shocked. The arena, the futon, the silver-haired man, Star Officials, ratings, rewards, Star Official Challenge Monument. Bibi Dong murmured these words, her eyebrow rings furrowed. She had no regrets about missing the opportunity to accept the Star Official's challenge. After all, as the Pope of Wuhan, he is a peak Douluo with a soul power of level 98. Thousands of years of random soul are not very tempting. He was very curious about the silver-haired man who called himself Star Official in the Ghost's mouth. At this time, a platinum bishop rushed from outside the Pope's palace. When he came to the center, he said to the ghost, "I've seen the ghost elder." Looking at the noble woman on the throne above, she respectfully shouted, "Meet the Pope, I have something important to report." Bibi Dong's body was leaning on the throne, her long legs without a trace of fat, putting his right leg on his left leg. He said coldly, "Talk." The platinum bishop nodded and said, "My Lord Pope, a strange thing happened in Wuhan City last night. At the Wuhan City Square, a ring appeared out of thin air. This attracted the attention of many people last night. Period. It's exactly the same breadth as the mysterious golden monument above the sky." Just now, a silver-haired man in the ring came out of the cubicle, sitting on the futon in the center of the ring like an old monk in meditation. At this time, the entire square is already full of people, causing quite a commotion. It's up to the Pope to make a decision. How should we deal with it? What the platinum bishop said made the ghost beside him look excited. Looking at Bibi Dong on the throne above, She hurriedly said, "My Lord Pope, this is the arena, even that senior can't be wrong. The other party said yesterday that he would appear in different places every day. I didn't expect to come to our Wuhan city. God bless my Wuhan palace. If we can win over senior, it will be a great blessing for Wuhandian." Gimli and Yugwen offended Lin Feng yesterday and were suppressed forcefully. He knew very well that this person's mental power and strength were unfathomable. It is very likely that it is on the same level as Pope Bibi Dong, or even equivalent to the strength of the great priest Jin Daolu. The platinum bishop who reported looked at the ghost with a puzzled expression. Bibi Dong also looked over. Ghosts with spirit power level 95 rarely saw him lose his composure like this. She thought for a while and said coldly, "Ghost Douluo, I order you to go to Wuhan City Square to investigate now. If the person in the ring is really the star official, invite him to the Pope's palace and treat him with the highest etiquette." The smile on Ghost's face couldn't be concealed, and said in response, "Obey, my Lord Pope. I will definitely invite the seniors over." After saying that, he strode away from the Pope's palace. Followed by the platinum bishop, Bibi Dong thought about the huge change in Ghost's attitude before and after. The gem scepter in his hand hit the ground heavily, and said coldly, "Ghost Leopard Douluo." Not long after, Ghost Leopard Douluo came to the Pope's palace to salute respectfully. "Meet the Pope," said, "Of order, His Excellency the Pope." Then turn around, leave the Pope's palace and go to Wuhan City Square. Wuhan City Square. A large number of people gathered here at this moment. All kinds of discussions and exclamations arose everywhere, and it was extremely noisy and lively. "Tell me, what is the origin of this arena? It's really strange to appear here out of thin air last night. Moreover, there are powerful defensive formations around the arena." Many people tried to break through the formation to find out, but they were all shocked. "Look, it's another guy who is overconfident. If you want to try to break through the defensive formation, you dare to go wild with the strength of the Soul Master. Didn't you see that the soul sects next to you are all healing? I'm the exact opposite of you. I'm more curious about the silver-haired man sitting cross-legged on the futon in the center of the ring. He should be the owner of this arena. This person is also a little bit more handsome, and he has a pretty face. He doesn't have any soul power on him. How can he be the master of this arena? Hey, why is the little boy talking so badly? My brother is really handsome, isn't he? If I can marry such a man, I am willing to raise him for the rest of my life." A group of men rolled their eyes one after another when they heard the words of a few beautiful women being nympho. They really are not envious at all. A man who relies on his face for food is not worthy of sympathy. On the futon in the center of the ring, Lin Feng looked through a little gap in the corner of his eyes. Seeing the surrounding situation, he looked a little bored and thought to himself, "What a fucking blog. When I came to Wuhan City, I was surrounded by people like monkeys. It's better than yesterday's foggy forest. At least the ears are clean." He had a rough perception of the surrounding situation. San, Liena, and Feng's Ocean didn't come very speechless. Continue to meditate? 10 years, although every day is a bit boring, but as soon as 10 years pass, I will be able to obtain the ultimate power of the Douluo plane. At that time, wake up and take power in the world, and lie drunk on the knees of beauties, happy, enjoy family relationships. Lin Feng fantasized about a better life 10 years later, and began to imagine the picture of choosing a concubine. At this time, there was a commotion among the crowd. 2 young men stepped out, and those nearby backed off. "Look, Ziyu and Yan are here. They are one of the golden generation known as Wuhandian. 3 years ago, I had the strength of a soul king. I'm afraid I have broken through to the soul emperor now." Expression, Ziyu. This arena appeared here out of thin air. There are formation protections around. Let me try to see if I can break through the formation. I want to see what kind of god that person on the futon is pretending to be. What the hell is he doing? Yan strode forward with a proud look on his face. His strength has reached level 61 Soul Emperor, and he thinks that he is not comparable to those soul sect trash. Ziyu pondered for a moment and nodded and said, "Go, Yan. Remember to be careful. The formations around the ring are weird. The aura it exudes is actually the same as the mysterious golden tablet in the sky." Yan smiled disdainfully, clenched his fists and said, "Exactly how it is, I will know once I try it." Immediately, 6 soul rings of yellow, purple, black rose from under his feet, with a soul power of level 61. The 5th black 10,000-year spirit ring lit up and shouted, "5th soul skill, Fishakuogayan." Suddenly, a scorching fire attribute soul power burst out. A flame storm was set off on the spot, forcing to retreat. Even Ziyu had to retreat temporarily. With the increase of the soul skill, Yan's flame power increased by 300%. Then the second soul ring lit up and shouted, "Second soul skill, granite rock." The next moment, a huge granite arm formed from his right arm. A huge flame lord appeared behind him, roaring loudly, "Guy who pretends to be a ghost, I want to break your bullshit formation." Yan let out a loud roar, and jumped close to the ring. The right arm surged with all its strength, bombarding the ring formation. In an instant, a shocking explosion occurred on the scene. Under everyone's shocked eyes, Yan flew out in a parabola. Coincidentally, it fell headfirst into the trash can with a boom, Fudan in the center of the ring. Still meditating with eyes closed, motionless like a mountain. Zia Ocean is here. Zu dumped her good friend Yan out of the trash can. "Look at his dirty, comatose appearance," cried out worry. "Yan, are you okay? Wake up." The people watching nearby were shocked by the sudden scene. Unexpectedly, Yan, the Soul Emperor with a soul power of 61, launched an attack. Then there is only one possibility: the defensive formation is too strong. Judging from this situation, it may take a soul sage, or even a powerhouse of the Contra level, to be able to break through the ring formation. But when the angry cold voice in the air came, everyone looked up and was stunned for a moment. The person here is Ghost Elder of Wuhun Temple, Ghost Douluo with level 95 soul power. The word senior that the ghost said. The silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring was so young, he looked about 20 years old. The most important thing is that he doesn't have the slightest breath of soul power on him. He was actually called senior by Ghost Douluo Gimini. While supporting Yan, Ziyu looked at the ghost who came in front of her. Doubt saluted and said, "Ziyu, I've seen Elder Ghost." When he said these words, his eyes secretly looked in the direction of the ring. Ghost looked at Yan, who had passed out, and said with a cold snort, "It's a blessing and misfortune to be able to save a life by being real to offend seniors." Then, a wave of soul power was injected into Yan's body. After a while, Yan woke up with a mouthful of blood, very weak. Before he could speak, the ghost was under the watchful eyes of everyone. "Turn around and walk towards the ring." Yan looked at the ghost, then at Ziyu, coughed lightly and asked, "Ziyu, is Elder Ghost trying to break through the formation?" Ziyu's face was serious. She shook her head again and again to remind her, "Yan, don't talk nonsense." Regretted that he should not attack the formation. When the ghost walked towards the ring, hundreds of people gathered in the square. At this moment, they were very tacit and kept quiet. Everyone thought that the ghosts were also going to attack the formation. But he is still puzzled by the word senior he respectfully calls. Senior is a kind of honorific, for title Douluo like Ghost Douluo. It also expresses awe of the strong. But no one can believe that the silver-haired man in the ring is stronger than the ghost from around them. He went straight to the edge of the ring, clenched his right hand into a fist, and put it on his left chest, saluted with the highest etiquette for the Pope and said, "Ghost, meet Senior." His posture and behavior instantly set off a huge wave in the hearts of everyone in the audience, and they could not calm down for a long time. However, the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring did not respond. The atmosphere became awkward like this. Ghost felt that he couldn't hold back his face, but he didn't dare to mess around. After all, both he and Yugwen had suffered at the hands of each other yesterday. At this time, Lin Feng still closed his eyes tightly. Slowly said, "What's the matter?" The ghost showed joy and said excitedly, "Senior, I am following the orders of the Pope. Come here and invite seniors to visit the Pope's palace." As soon as this remark came out, the audience was once again in an uproar. I didn't expect the object they talked about for most of the day. It turned out to be a big shot valued by the Pope of Wuhan. Seeing this scene, Yan's bowels were filled with regret. Said, "Not interested." For a moment, everyone gasped. The Pope sent a title. Douluo wanted to invite him, but he was rejected. This is slapping Wuhan in the face, slapping the Pope in the face. Even Ziyu and Yan showed anger on their faces. The ghost's face must be as ugly as it is. Anxiously said, "Senior, why don't you think about it again?" However, he was not finished yet. In the entire arena, supreme, destructive, as if capable of destroying everything, even if the energy has been weakened a lot after leaving the ring, but it still turned into an energy storm, sweeping in all directions. Everyone below the strength of the soul sect in the entire square retreated in a daze, their faces pale. Suddenly, a man's cold and angry voice came from the air, "Elder Ghost, how can you let this man be so arrogant? Despise His Excellency the Pope, despise the authority of the Spirit Hall, Facing such a guy who doesn't know the heights of the sky and the earth. You should show him some color. The 8th soul skill, Shadow of the Void, Ghost Leopard Douluo, the elder of Wuhun Hall, arrived and stood tall in the sky. 9 soul rings rose from under his feet, driven by level 93 soul power. Countless black phantoms condensed in a space with a radius of 100 meters. Carrying unrivaled power, he bombarded towards the ring formation. The expression of the ghost under the ring changed drastically, and it was too late to stop it. It can only release the soul power to form an energy shield. Protect the people of the entire Wuhan Square, so as not to hurt innocent people. Immediately, there was a burst of clanging and roaring down. Very weak, Ghost Leopard Douluo, the ghost rushed over anxiously to check the opponent's injuries. With a serious face, he quickly mobilized his soul power to heal him. In an instant, the audience was silent. All eyes were on the seriously injured Ghost Leopard Douluo. Even a level 93 title Douluo couldn't break through the formation defense. Looking again at the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring, respect rose in his heart. Finally, he understood why Ghost Douluo Gimri respected each other as senior, with such a respectful attitude. In the crowd, Yan looked at the dying Ghost Leopard Douluo. Swallowing hard, he figured out why the ghost said he had saved his life. However, just when everyone was shocked, Lin Feng opened his eyes on the futon, smiled lightly and said, "Feng Zai Ocean, since you are here, don't hide and hide, come up to accept the challenge of the star official." When he waved his hand, a mysterious energy shot out. The next one in the arena was wearing a blue suit. The man in the black mask was wrapped and brought to the ring. Attracts attention. A dark red-haired woman shouted worriedly, "Smile, Zaya Ocean," on the ring in disbelief. Unexpectedly, even title Douluo could not break through the formation defense. But someone was brought up on his own initiative, so what is the Star Officer's challenge? Feng Zai Ocean looked at the silver-haired man sitting on the futon in front of him. There is a feeling that the whole body is seen through, and Juai emerges in the eyes. He turned around and was about to leave the arena, but unfortunately he was trapped by the formation and couldn't leave. Lin Feng opened his mouth to remind and said, "Feng Zai Ocean, take out the lucky star feather you got, start to accept the Star Officer's challenge. You can get all kinds of unexpected rewards in the process. Of course, you can also choose not to believe it. Period. Give up this hard-won lucky star feather." After fulfilling his duties and explaining, he stopped talking. Whether to accept the Star Official's challenge is entirely up to the will, never force it. Feng Zai Ocean calmed down a little. He took out a feather exuding a sacred golden light from his bosom. "Respects to Senior, I am willing to accept the Star Official's challenge. I don't know how to cooperate. P.S. The first change, January 4th. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8 Fink Sia Oshiang Xingguan Defense Challenge, Rating B+, Random Second Martial Arts Soul Breaking Gun. Lin Feng looked at Feng Zai Ocean in front of him and said, "Inject the soul power into Xingguan." Feng Zai Ocean glanced at Tou Wu under the ring, and a firm look flashed in his eyes. Shen Xiang said, "Thank you for your guidance, Senior." Then, he was watched by countless shocked eyes. Input soul power into the golden feather in his hand. Lucky Xingguan glowed with golden light and flew into the air. The golden light revealed 2 words: defense. Lin Feng said, "Feng Zai Ocean, the Star Official Challenge has started. Now you immediately condense the strongest defense on your body. After a minute, Xingguan will land a thunderbolt to attack you. The reward will be..." Feng Zai Ocean was very excited when he heard what the other party said. He looked up at the attack mysterious golden monument above the sky futon, like an old monk in meditation, motionless like a mountain. Feng Zai Ocean showed joy, and clenched his fists tightly. Things were exactly as he had guessed. Fortunately, the decision I made last night was correct, and I didn't miss the Star Official Challenge when I came to Wuhan City. To calm down, Feng Zai Ocean murmured to himself, "I'm a wind attribute attack type soul master, and I'm the master of killing." Transformed the Gale Wind Demon Wolf's 36 consecutive slashes into 54 consecutive slashes. Not only has the power increased dramatically, but it can also condense into a storm defense shield. A pair of blue wings sprouted from his back and flew into the air. The strength of the 52nd level Soul King exploded, setting off a hurricane. The momentum was astonishing afterwards. The body rotated at a terrifying speed in the air, stirring up the wind and clouds. The power of this blow continued to stack up, and finally entered the realm of the Soul Emperor. And it is still slowly strengthening, finally turning into a storm defense shield. Feng Xiaoshan didn't have arrogance, and continued to incorporate more soul power to strengthen the defensive shield. I just want to last a little longer under the thunder and get more generous reward. Storm defense shield on the ring. Although the Gale Demon Wolf's 54 consecutive slashes were presented in a defensive manner, but the aura that came out was extremely powerful, reaching the level of a Soul Emperor at the same time. Everyone is full of curiosity about Star Official Challenge. Lucky Star Feather, the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the arena, actually said that he only needs to accept the Star Officials Challenge. You can get soul bones, soul rings, treasure geniuses and other rewards. Many people maintain a skeptical attitude, and some people are convinced. To be able to make the Pope of Wuhun be a guest of honor, respected by Ghost Douluo as senior, it is definitely not easy to injure Ghost Leopard Douluo with only a defensive formation. Ghost Douluo Gimli looked at Feng Xiaoshan while healing Ghost Leopard Douluo power, obviously only the strength of a level 52 Soul King, to be able to activate a self-created soul skill comparable to Soul Emperor. Nana and Ziyu, Yan and the three of them are at Feng Xiaoshan's age. I'm afraid that in terms of strength, it will inevitably lose some color. It's a pity, although a beast spirit like Gale Demon Wolf is not weak, but in front of a truly powerful martial arts spirit, there is no comparison after all. The ghost witnessed to Liena in the foggy forest yesterday. The whole process of accepting the Star Officials Challenge is not surprising. It's just that Feng Xiaoshan's challenge would be defense, and Liena's challenge would be attack. Ghost Leopard Douluo, whose injuries were relieved, looked terrified. Staring at the futon in the center of the ring, the silver-haired man crossed his knees and closed his eyes at this moment. If it wasn't for the ghost's timely rescue, he would surely die. Feng Xiaoshan on the ring with solemn expressions. Xiaoshan's self-created soul skill. I didn't expect him to be able to comprehend 56 consecutive cuts. The power of this has been increased several times. As one of the golden generation of Wuhun, the two have arrogance in their hearts. After Tang San back then, he also regarded Feng Xiaoshan as a strong enemy. Ho Wu is Feng Xiaoshan's girlfriend. She is smart. Now staring at him on the ring, with his arms folded in front of him, making a wish and said, Xiaoshan, you must work hard. The whole audience was silent at this moment, without a single sound. Everyone's eyes were on the ring. Feng Xiaoshan, who was still working hard to strengthen the storm shield. Looking forward to what kind of reward he will get when the challenge is over. Challenge, start. As his last word fell, the lucky star feathers floated in the air. The golden light faded and turned into purple-blue. A palpitating, creepy breath spread out. Immediately, the sound of roaring exploded. A sharp, terrifying thunder flew out from Xingyu, slashed across the sky, and landed on the storm defense shield that Feng Xiaoshan condensed. I saw deafening explosions in the air pale. But his pair of exposed eyes were full of viciousness. Zhen Xing roared, come again. Lucky Xingyu seemed to know that he was being provoked. With a slight tremor, the second thunderbolt flew out and hit the storm defense shield. This time, the wind and smoke dissipated. The defensive shield was densely packed with cracks, and it was already fragmented. Feng Xiaoshan vomited blood 3 times in a row, unable to continue supporting his body from the sky. Extremely tragic. The purple-blue light flowing from the golden feather turned back to golden. He caught Feng Xiaoshan and landed on the ground smoothly. Then, flew over and was held in Lin Feng's hand, and disappeared. Such a scene made everyone in the audience stunned. Unexpectedly, the so-called Star Officials Challenge would take Feng Xiaoshan's life. Period. Everyone looked at the injured Feng Xiaoshan sarcastically. Who believed such a scam? Gui Mei frowned tightly, looking puzzled at the silver-haired man on the futon. Ho Wu came to the edge of the ring, beating the formation with both hands. With a hoarse cry of grief, he said, laughing. Laughing, are you okay? Her voice resounded in the quiet surroundings, extremely clear. Everyone felt that the Star Official Challenge was a scam, and some people left bored. Feng Xiaoshan could feel the injury in his body, and it was recovering at a speed visible to the naked eye. Shocked, he staggered to his feet. He cast a consoling look at his girlfriend Ho Wu under the ring and said, don't worry, I'm fine. Then, he dragged his heavy body to the futon. With a weak voice, he said respectfully, dare to ask senior, have I completed the challenge? Lin Feng nodded and said with a smile, "Of course." A string of red letters appeared in his mind. Character, Feng Zai Ocean, defense level, 2 thunderbolts, rating, D+, reward, random second martial soul. Lin Feng looked at Feng Zai Ocean, whose breathing had returned to normal. Knowing that his injury has healed, he said softly, "Feng Zai Ocean, you have withstood 2 thunder attacks in this defensive challenge, rated D+, reward a random second martial soul." A ball of yellow light appeared in Lin Feng's hand and flew towards Feng Zai Ocean. At this moment, the yellow light group evolved rapidly. It took on the shape of a Wuhan, and finally freezes. A weapon wrapped in a red light, with a tip occupying half of the gun body, appeared. Soul-breaking gun. Square. There are now a large number of people gathered here. Most of them are ordinary civilians, and there are also some native soul masters from Wuhan City. He even has the title of Elder Douluo in Wuhandian. Ghost Douluo Ghost Leopard Douluo is here. There are also talented soul masters in the Wuhun Temple, such as Zi Yunyan. In addition, the major forces arranged. The eyeliner here was silent, not a single sound. Not long ago, everyone saw that Feng Zai Ocean was seriously injured. After losing half his life, he felt challenged by the so-called star officials. It's actually just a scam. Full of disdain for Feng Zai Ocean, who possesses innate soul power. In the younger generation of soul masters in the Douluo Continent, they are somewhat famous geniuses. Cross-legged on the futon in the center of the ring from the beginning to the end will suddenly say some strange words, but the next moment, the other party threw a yellow ball of light at Feng Zai Ocean in front of it. It evolved into a handful wrapped in red light. When the tip of the gun occupies half of the body of the gun, the complexion of everyone in the audience changed drastically, and they could learn from this weapon perceived a rather strong breath, making people feel pressured up, looked at the ring and exclaimed, "This turned out to be the soul-breaking spear that claims to be the third-ranked weapon in the mainland." As soon as these words came out, there was a neat air-conditioning gasp in the audience. Before mocking, looking down on Feng Zai Ocean, those who remained skeptical about the star officials' challenge all turned red-eyed. With the identity of Ghost Douluo Gimei, this must be the soul-breaking gun without a doubt. As we all know, it is the Clear Sky School's Clear Sky Hammer that claims to be the first martial soul in the mainland. The mainland's #1 attack weapon, the martial soul, is the 7-killing sword of the 7 treasure glazed tile school. These 2 weapon spirits are the top-level weapon spirits, leaving the second place vacant. The Soul Master World passively acquiesced, and the third place was the soul-breaking spear from the Pazi clan. The Broken clan is a model of single-attribute families in the Douluo Continent. The Yuli clan, the Yu clan, and the Sensitive clan are also known as the 4 single-attribute families. It used to belong to the Haoxianzong, the #1 sect in the world. It's a pity that Haoxianzong offended Wuhandian back then and chose to close the mountain gate. Dwindled day by day unexpectedly. The soul-breaking gun was quite famous on the mainland back then. We'll return to the Soul Master World in this way. Ghost Leopard Douluo forced himself to stand up. With a shocked expression on his face, he said, "Elder Ghost, you were so respectful to that man before. Could it be that the star official's challenge is real? Will Feng Zai Ocean really get the second martial spirit today? The soul-breaking spear, real?" Yesterday Nana was in the foggy forest, accepting the challenge from the star officer. She started the attack challenge, rating D. The reward is that the first spirit ring will increase its lifespan by 2,000 years. The star official challenge monument in the sky is the record set by Nana yesterday. I didn't expect Feng Zai Ocean to start the defense challenge and get a rating of D+. He already has a 10th level innate soul power. Now I get another top-level weapon, the soul-breaking gun. Become a peerless genius like the monstrous Tang San who possessed twin martial spirits 3 years ago? This is tantamount to a huge threat to Wuhandian. The ghost's words fell into the ears of the surrounding people. A turbulent sea was set off in an instant, and the mood could not be calmed for a long time. He looked at Feng Zai Ocean on the ring again. The previous disdain, ridicule, turned into envy. Twin martial souls, that is a unique genius in the countless years of history in the mainland. There were only 5 fingers of people with twin martial souls. It is known that Tang San, who led the Shrek team and defeated the Golden Generation team of Wuhandian 3 years ago. He who is well known in the Douluo Continent is the owner of twin martial arts. Today's Pope Bibi Dong is aloof in the Wuhan Hall. He is also a rare owner of twin martial souls, and this news is only known to a very small number of people. However, the killing intent revealed in the ghost's words let the surrounding people, soul masters, be shocked. There has always been a well-known saying in Wuhandian. If it cannot be used by the Wuhun Palace, it must be killed by the Wuhun Palace. If Tang San 3 years ago could submit to Wuhun Palace so he won't be hunted down. For 3 years, he has been hiding in XZ, and there has been no news. Now Feng Zia Ocean also possesses innate full soul power. He is about to get the second martial spirit, the soul-breaking gun. Wuhundian will definitely not allow such a genius to grow. Ho Wu under the ring was all smiles. She is still happy and adoring her boyfriend Feng Zia Ocean. But he saw 2 figures rushing out of the crowd. It is Ziyu and Yan from the golden generation of Wuhundian. Although Yan was injured, he recovered a lot under the treatment of ghosts. He stared coldly at Ho Wu with his arms around him and said, Ho Wu, this is Wuhun City, you and Feng Zia Ocean can come and leave if you want. A blood blade appeared in Ziyu's hand, pointing directly at Feng Zia Ocean on the ring and said, Feng Zia Ocean, congratulations on getting your second martial spirit. Period. Become another twin spirit master after Tang San on the mainland. The Pope appreciates a genius like you the most. Hurry up and get your reward, and get the soul-breaking spear and martial soul, then obediently follow me to meet the Pope. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude to Ho Wu. On the stage, Feng Zia Ocean's hand that reached out to touch the soul-breaking gun stopped. Turning around to look at the besieged girlfriend Ho Wu, he shouted angrily, Yan, Ziyu, you are too despicable. Yan and Ziyu sneered playfully, but did not respond. 6 soul rings of yellow, purple, black rose from under the 2 of them, and their strength reached that of a soul emperor. About me, just go, wait until you succeed in cultivation in the future, and then set foot on the Wuhun Palace to avenge me. As the words fell, 4 soul rings, yellow, purple, and purple, rose from her feet. The soul sect with a soul power of 49 was completely crushed by Yan and Ziyu. Seeing this, Gimei and Gibeo sneered. The surrounding people looked ugly and chose to remain silent, obviously waiting for the fate of Feng Zia Ocean and Ho Wu next. Either submit to Wuhundian, or die. This is the base camp of Wuhun Palace, Wuhun City. There are a large number of titled Douluo stationed here, which is the terrifying background of Wuhundian. No one can get rid of the masters of Wuhundian and get out of here alive. On the ring, Feng Zia Ocean's chest heaved violently. There was a monstrous rage in his heart. He looked at his girlfriend Ho Wu, who regarded death as home, and he looked at Ghost Leopard Douluo, who were staring at him covetously. Suddenly his face was pale and full of despair. Looking at the soul-breaking gun close at hand, he sighed heavily. The Shenfeng Academy the Feng Zia Ocean belongs to is a famous high-level soul master academy in the Xiangdao Empire. He himself shoulders the glory of Kamikaze Academy. Kamikaze Academy would also be discredited, and years of hard work would be ruined. Feng Zia Ocean carried the last glimmer of hope. Facing this one sitting cross-legged on the futon saddle, immediately, all eyes focused on Lin Feng. Unexpectedly, Feng Zia Ocean would choose to plead with him. As long as the other party makes a move, even Wuhundian wouldn't dare to embarrass Feng Zia Ocean and Ho Wu. After all, a strong man with a mysterious origin who can give out martial souls and soul rings at will, and who wouldn't covet the rewards given. However, Lin Feng looked at Feng Zia Ocean, who was kneeling in front of him with a calm expression. Shaking his head majestically said, my duty is to start star official challenges for the lucky ones every day. I will not interfere with the rest of the matter. Immediately, he slowly closed his eyes and ignored it. P.S. The third update, March 4th. Chapter 10. Bibi Dong was rejected. Feng Zia Ocean became a twin martial soul master, and Liena came back. Lin Feng's words were like a heavy hammer. It hit Feng Zia Ocean's heart. It made his heart ashen and his face pale, standing up staggeringly, like a walking dead. Many ordinary people under the ring showed expressions of pity. Those soul masters who belonged to the Wuhun Temple sneered again and again. Ghost and Ghost Leopard looked at each other and nodded, as if they were in control. The soul power of Yan and Ziyu exploded, approaching Ho Wu, ready to attack. Use this as a means to blackmail Feng Zia Ocean on the ring. Feng Zia Ocean turned around and looked at the soul-breaking gun. He smiled miserably and said, Soulbreaker gun, I thought you could help me rise. Let me surpass Tang San and defeat him dignifiedly, become the strongest in the world of soul masters. But I didn't expect you to bring me such a disaster. Feng Zia Ocean, don't deserve to have this soul-breaking gun. Feng Zia Ocean's words shocked everyone in the audience. There is actually someone who can resist the temptation to become a twin soul master. There was a strange look in the eyes of Ghost and Ghost Leopard. If Feng Zia Ocean didn't want this second spirit-breaking gun, then it will not pose a threat to Wuhundian at the risk of being cast aside by the Soul Master world and Wuhundian. It's really not worth it to deal with a little Soul King. If you want to kill him, there are countless ways secretly away. Ho Wu looked at her boyfriend Feng Xiaoshan, who was slowly coming down from the ring. Eye sockets became moist, very distressed. Ho Wu knew how hard Feng Xiaoshan had worked all these years. He has gone through untold hardships to have the strength of the current Soul King. If you can get this second soul-breaking spear, given time, he will surely be able to surpass Tang San and regain his glory. But now, because of the threat of Wuhun great opportunity that belonged to him, how can he be willing? Feng Xiaoshan walked off the ring and came to Ho Wu's side. He reached out to wipe the tears from her eyes. He said affectionately, "Ho Wu, don't cry, as long as you are safe, nothing else matters." Ho Wu couldn't help crying anymore. Throwing into her boyfriend's arms, her body trembled slightly. Suddenly, at this moment to stay away, in an instant, the people gathered around the ring dispersed left and right. Then he saw a crowd of titled Douluo elders from the Wuhun palace, surrounded by them a slender figure with a noble temperament. A beautiful woman with a gemstone scepter in her hand walked slowly. She was wearing a fitted papal robe, dazzled when walking while stunning the audience. It does not lose its majesty. It caused countless men around to show obsessed eyes. Countless women envy and worship. "Meet the Pope." Ghost and Ghost Leopard Douluo hurried over. The right hand is clenched into a fist and placed on the left chest, respectfully saluting time beside the ring. Feng Xiaoshan and Ho Wu also knelt on one knee. The two of them lowered their heads deeply and looked terrified. Unexpectedly, Pope Bibi Dong would come here in person. Holding the gem scepter in her hand, Bibi Dong smiled and nodded. His majestic eyes looked at the futon in the center of the ring. The silver-haired man meditating cross-legged flashed curiosity. Concentrated voice said, "Get up." "Thank you, Your Majesty the Pope." Everyone shouted again and got up one after another. "Pope." Bibi Dong nodded, signaling them to move aside. Then, under the gaze of everyone, he came to Feng Xiaoshan and Ho Wu. He looked at them kindly. This can make Feng Xiaoshan and Ho Wu look like they are facing a formidable enemy, and their faces are ugly. The hands of the two clasped their fingers, trembling. In the end, Feng Xiaoshan bit the bullet and said respectfully, "Meet the Pope." "Coming. What's your order?" Bibi Dong glanced at Ho Wu. His eyes fell on Feng Xiaoshan. He nodded appreciatively and said, "Feng Xiaoshan, your talent is very good. It's a pity to stay at Kamikaze Academy. Are you willing to join my spirit hall?" Feng Xiaoshan's body stiffened obviously. Breaking out in a cold sweat, they immediately took Ho Wu's hand and knelt down on one knee. Tremblingly said, "Thank you, Your Majesty Pope, for your kindness, but Feng Xiaoshan belongs to Shenfeng Academy. Life is a member of Kamikaze Academy, and death is a ghost of Kamikaze Academy." Everyone was shocked. They never thought that Feng Xiaoshan would dare to blatantly reject the Pope's invitation. With his level 52 Soul King's strength, he still wants to leave Wuhun City alive. Ghost Douluo Gamer E next to him said angrily in a cold voice, boldly laughing at the sky, "You actually disobeyed the Pope." Bibi Dong waved her hand and said, "No problem." Looking at Feng Xiaoshan, who was kneeling in front of him again, he continued, "Feng Xiaoshan, your talent is no worse than Tang San. If you get this second spirit breaking gun again, given time's achievements, we will definitely be able to surpass Tang San and defeat him. As long as you choose to join Wuhun, I can guarantee it. Let an elder named Douluo accept you as a disciple. When your soul power breaks through level 60, you will make an exception and join the golden generation of the Spirit Hall. Would you like to?" Everyone around was shocked. Letting the title Douluo accept disciples is already a huge temptation. Who can be? Not to mention that as long as the soul power is cultivated to level 60, one can become the golden generation of Wuhun. This is the highest honor. Yan and Ziyu looked at each other with ugly faces. The cruelest thing about Wuhun is that talent and strength come first. If Feng Xiaoshan really got this second soul-breaking spear, future achievements will surely surpass them. The faces of all the titled Douluo were shocked. They did not expect the Pope to make such a promise. However, Feng Xiaoshan still shook his head. The voice said firmly, "Feng Xiaoshan came from a humble background, and he doesn't deserve to be favored by His Excellency the Pope. I hope His Excellency will take back his promise." Immediately, everyone looked at Feng Xiaoshan with idiot expressions. Even Lin Feng on the futon in the center of the ring. He also lifted a slit in the corner of his eye, secretly watching the situation over there. Thinking to himself, he said, "Feng Xiaoshan is courageous. He would rather give up than surrender." Facing such a generous offer from Bibi Dong, I can still resist the temptation to refuse. Hiss. Is this Bibi Dong? This appearance, this temperament, this majestic demeanor, is worthy of being the Pope of Douluo? and he deserves his name. Feeling amazed, Lin Feng made a judgment at the same time compare Bibi Dong with Liena, find cute in front of sexy, not worth mentioning. Bibi Dong's eyes became cold and said, "Go get your second martial soul, and then leave the martial soul city immediately, otherwise, the consequences are at your own risk." Everyone was stunned unexpectedly. The Pope would let Feng Xiaoshan leave after being rejected and let him get the second martial soul, the soul-breaking gun. Titled Douluo elders such as Ghost and Ghost Leopard wanted to come forward to persuade them. But they were all frightened away by Bibi Dong's indifferent gaze, so they could only shut up obediently. Feng Xiaoshan and Hou Wu looked at each other, overjoyed. Feng Xiaoshan hurriedly shouted respectfully and said, "Thank you, Your Majesty Pope, for fulfilling it." Then, he and Hou Wu got up and ordered, "Hou Wu, wait for me here." Hou Wu nodded, and said softly, "Go, Xiaoshan, you are the best." I saw Feng Xiaoshan quickly rush to the ring, once again attracting the audience's attention. He stretched out his hand and grabbed the soul-breaking gun that was wrapped in a red light and whose tip occupied half of the gun's body. In an instant, the entire arena set off a red storm, raging and roaring, like the howling wind, stirring up the wind and clouds. In the end, all these red energies merged into Feng Xiaoshan's body. The soul-breaking gun in his hand was shining with a powerful red light. A terrifying breaking soul force gushed out from the body and spread out, just as everyone under the ring was shocked. Unexpectedly, Feng Xiaoshan really possessed a second martial spirit. There was a sound of horseshoes outside the square, and then a woman's excited voice came, "Teacher, I'm back." Chapter 11. The second challenge Golden Monument appeared. Liena was not reconciled, and accepted the Star Officials challenge for the second time. Wuhan City, on the street, Liena and Zhu Daoluo were on their way on horseback. The two of them saw it appearing in the square of Wuhan City from a distance, the arena exuding a mysterious atmosphere. They already knew the refresh location of today's Star Official Challenge, gathered under the ring at this moment. And Pope Bibi Dong is also here. The girl looks away from the teacher. Transferred to the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring. She was exhausted after traveling all night. There was a happy smile on the corner of his mouth, and he was in a good mood. Under the ring, Bibi Dong heard this familiar voice. "Liena." He was coming quickly on horseback, waving his hands excitedly. The ordinary people and soul masters around saw who was coming. They all saluted and shouted, "Meet the Holy Maiden, meet Elder Zhu." Hou Wu glanced at Feng Xiaoshan who was trotting over. The two quickly bowed down to salute, then cautiously backed away from the crowd. Now Feng Xiaoshan has successfully obtained the second soul-breaking spear. Leave here as soon as possible. Period. However, the next moment, some soldiers actually stepped forward and stopped the two of them. Liena came to the teacher Bibi Dong, saluted and said excitedly, "Teacher, I'm back." Then he looked at the ghost and continued, "Teacher, about the Star Officers Challenge, yesterday's Star Official Challenge, anyone can hear that the Pope's words are full of regret. Yesterday, even in the morning, I just learned about the Star Officers Challenge from the ghost." Bibi Dong wasn't too dissatisfied after all. Her identity is the aloof Pope of the Spirit Hall, a peak Douluo with soul power level 98. The thousands of years of soul rings had increased in age, and they didn't take it too seriously. You can get a D+ rating in witnessing Feng Xiaoshan when he got the so-called mainland's third Wuhan soul breaking spear as the second Wuhan. Bibi Dong completely regretted it. She believes that if she can accept the challenge of the Star Official with her own strength, even if you can't get the highest rating, he would definitely be able to get a better reward than Feng Xiaoshan. Level 98 soul power gave her endless confidence. It's a pity that the chance of being selected by Lucky Xingyu is only 1 in a billion. How easy is it to get it again? Both Yu Guan and Gimei showed regretful expressions. Especially Ghosts. He rushed back to Wuhan City to report without stopping. After all, it was still a step too late. The surrounding titled Douluo elders, ordinary people, and soul masters. Everyone is shocked we'll get Lucky Star Feather again in the future. "Look, I got Xingyu again." With that said, she took out Lucky Xingyu for a while. There was no one in the arena except Yu Guan. Everyone was staring at the golden feather that appeared in Liena's hand. To know not so long ago Feng Xiaoshan relied on such a lucky star feather, accept the challenge of the Star Official, and finally get the second soul-breaking gun. This Lucky Xingyu is a good baby. Nana, didn't you just get the lucky star feather yesterday? Why is it still there now? Bibi Dong didn't react. His eyes stared at Xingyu in his apprentice's hand, and his breathing became short of breath. Liena scratched her head in embarrassment, and said, Teacher, didn't I just say that? I got lucky star feather again today. My luck seems to be pretty good. Having said that, she turned around and took a look. The silver-haired man meditating cross-legged on the futon in the center of the arena. A slight blush appeared on her pretty cheeks, which was extremely charming. Everyone saw her look like this, especially Bibi Dong and ghosts who know that Xingyu is rare. The faces of both of them became strange suddenly. Liena found the two people who were stopped next to her frowning in surprise. He said, Teacher, why are Feng Xiaoshan and Ho Wu here? Right, Bibi Dong withdrew her thoughts, said with a cold face, Yes, Nana, Feng Xiaoshan has just accepted the Star Officer's challenge. It's just that he's different from you. Accepted his defense challenge, rated D+. The reward is the second soul breaking spear. He now already has twin spirits like Tang San. These words shocked to Liena and Yuguan. Because of her yesterday's attack challenge rating of D, the lifespan of the rewarded random spirit ring is halved and Xiaoshan has a rating of D+. The second spirit-breaking spear is completely incomparable. Immediately, Liena felt that her first soul ring had turned purple. And it was no longer fragrant. She glanced at the lucky star feather in her hand. Look at Bibi Dong, Yuguan, Gimme and others. Ningxing said, Teacher, Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Increased Ghost, I have another chance to accept the Star Officer's challenge today. I can definitely get a higher level rating. There are more rare and precious rewards. Immediately, she turned around and strode towards the ring. Bibi Dong nodded in satisfaction, her pride hard to hide. He glanced coldly at Feng Xiaoshan and Ho Wu ordered, Let the two of them leave. Seeing this, the surrounding soldiers retreated one after another. Feng Xiaoshan and Ho Wu quickly said gratefully, Thank you, Your Majesty Pope, for fulfilling it. Immediately afterwards, the two quickly got into the crowd. I just want to get out of this dangerous place as soon as possible. For fear that Pope Bibi Dong would go back on his word. This time Feng Xiaoshan came to Wuhun City and obtained the second Wuhun Spear. What a great opportunity. As long as you go back and practice with great concentration, you will definitely be able to defeat Tang San next time you meet him. But, at this moment, there were exclamations all around. Look, there is another mysterious golden monument in the sky. Immediately, Bibi Dong, Liena, Gui Mei, Yuguan and others. They all looked up into the sky. Sure enough, there was only one attack golden monument. Now there is one more, which also exudes a mysterious and unpredictable atmosphere. The word defense is engraved on the head of the steel. Feng Xiaoshan's name appeared behind the number 1 in the sequence. At the same time, on the ring, Lin Feng, who is meditating cross-legged, opened his eyes. He looked at Feng Xiaoshan, who is at a loss. Opened his mouth and said, Feng Xiaoshan, this is the Star Official's Challenge Monument, used to record the highest record for each type of challenge rating. There will be a liquidation every third night at midnight. The top 3 creatures will receive different rewards of A+, B+, and C+, respectively. Seeing the teacher's puzzled expression, Liena quickly explained, Teacher, Senior told me yesterday, Star Official challenges are divided into 7 levels from low to high, D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS. Each level also has a difference between plus and comma. Just like Feng Xiaoshan's rating of D+ is better than my rating of D. These words of hers are not difficult to understand, including Bibi Dong, all titled Douluo, Soul Masters, and common people. They all looked excitedly at the 2 mysterious golden monuments floating in the air with a D+ rating. You can get the second soul-breaking gun. Period. How rich will the rewards be for the higher grades of C+, B+, and A+? Doesn't this mean that they were the first to accept the challenge from the Star Officials? Getting a high rating reward every 3 days at the very beginning? Just thinking about it is exciting. It's a pity that lucky stars are hard to find. Feng Xiaoshan calmed down his excitement, and bowed deeply in the direction of the ring. Respectfully shouted, Thank you, Senior, for reminding me. Favor. Feng Xiaoshan will keep it in his heart. After that, he got up. He took his girlfriend Ho Wu's hand. The two got into the crowd and quickly left Wuhun City. Liena looked at the backs of the two leaving, feeling unwilling. Holding the lucky golden feather in her hand, she went straight through the ring formation. Come to the silver-haired man on the futon. Senior, I'm here to accept the Star Officer's challenge. P.S. The first change, January 4th. Chapter 12. Liena starts a spiritual challenge. Young is good. Rating C on the futon in the center of the ring. Lin Feng meditated with his legs crossed, As motionless as a mountain, he looked up at the man in Tang San in front of him, a woman with a beautiful face and an innate femininity. There was an imperceptible light in his eyes. He nodded and said, "Inject your soul power into Lucky Star Feather. I will start the Star Official Challenge for you." Liena saw this guy in front of her. Such an unfeminine look. I feel a little lost in my heart. She was trained in charms from a very young age. Wuhun Yao, who specializes in absorbing charm-related soul skills. It makes her words and deeds exude a unique charm. And firmly believe that there may be girls more beautiful than her in this world. It is absolutely impossible for anyone to be more attractive than her. Liena took a light breath. Let her already slender waist. It looks even more graceful, without a trace of fat. A sweet smile appeared on her pretty cheeks. Yuan lightly pulled the hair, revealing the nearly perfect side face. However, she made these discoveries. The guy in front of him was still looking at her calmly. Let Bibi Dong and others under the ring see it. Bibi Dong, little fox, is not bad. But soon he found that the atmosphere was not right, and quickly said in a cold voice, "Liena, if you are not ready to accept the Star Officer's challenge, then go down and come back when you're ready." Liena's complexion changed slightly, and she quickly said, "Senior, please forgive me, I'll start now." She sighed a little weakly. Inject soul power into Xingyu in his hand. Lucky Star Feather glowed with golden light and flew into the air. The golden light revealed the word spirit. Lin Feng said, "Liena, the Star Official Challenge has started. Now you inject Xingyu with the greatest spiritual power. Xingyu will give you a rating based on your mental strength. Let's start." When Liena heard this, her little face showed joy. Yesterday's attack challenge touched her shortcoming with his brother Ziyu. His own attack will be weak. I didn't expect to start the spiritual challenge today. Mental strength is her forte. Under the arena, Bibi Dong, Yu Guan, Gui Mei and others all had happy expressions on their faces. In terms of mental power alone, Liena with level 62 soul power and nodded. Both of them could see joy in each other's eyes. Liena took a step forward with joy, leaning towards the handsome and outrageous guy in front of him. Jiao smiled gratefully and said, "Thank you, Senior, for letting me start the spiritual challenge." Lin Feng subconsciously leaned back. The distance between the two was less than half a meter. All the eyes are women's fair and delicate skin. There was also a faint body fragrance that belonged exclusively to Liena's body. It made him sniff, slightly dazed. The type of challenge is random. I didn't help you. Also, remember to keep a distance of 2 meters from me. If you get closer for no reason, you will bear the consequences. Seeing that the other party was, Liena quickly backed away. Liena nodded heavily in response and said, "Yes, Senior." Immediately, she stood up. I remembered the moment when the other party was stunned when I approached just now. A blush rings appeared on her cheeks unconsciously. Both shy and slightly excited, a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Senior. Although he behaved coldly, he was not in his heart. Zionezi thought to herself, looking up at the golden feather floating in the air feet. A soul emperor with soul power level 62, an astonishing burst of spiritual power. At the same time, a spiritual head spirit bone appeared on her forehead. The smile on Liena's delicate cheeks disappeared. Turning into a cold expression, he shouted, "Head spirit bone skill, Tower of Spirit." I saw it on the ring. Her body gradually flew into the air, wrapped in purple spiritual power. The soul bone in front of the forehead was full of purple light, illuminating half of the sky. Behind him appeared a small tower purely condensed by spiritual power. It is a full 10 meters high. Liena's martial soul is a demon fox. The 6 soul skills are all charm effects. Passively raised her mental power to a very high level. The Soul Emperor realm possesses spiritual power comparable to that of a soul saint affected. Seeing this scene, Bibi Dong smiled. Proud and satisfied with the apprentice. Yuguan, Gimei, Ziyu, Yan and others also smiled knowingly. In the air of the ring, Liena was in an ocean of spiritual power. Period. He glanced at the silver-haired man on the futon below. His eyes became extremely firm. Integrate all the spiritual power contained in oneself at this moment into the Lucky Star Feather. Lucky Xingyu is absorbing spiritual power. Feather's body trembled slightly, but no matter how spiritual power was instilled, it had no other effect. A few minutes later, Liena felt that her spiritual power was about to be exhausted on be able to grow up all the way and become the saint of Wuhun, and one of the 3 members of the golden generation who Liena's heart is so tenacious. Feng Xia Ocean's rating of D+ had already stimulated her. The second spirit-breaking spear made her very envious. As the direct disciple of Pope Bibi Dong of Wuhun, and you can't lose face for the teacher, and you can't let Wuhun be ridiculed by the world, so a higher rating has to be earned today no matter the cost. Moreover, Liena understands how precious the lucky star feather is. The odds of getting it are 1 in a billion. Being able to obtain Xingaiyu twice in a row is already a blessing. She didn't dare to hope that she could get it again, so she could only pin her hopes on this challenge. Seeing that Liena was exhausted. Under the ring, Pope Bibi Dong shouted worriedly, "Nana, stop quickly, or your life will be in danger." Yu Guan also said anxiously, "Nana, ratings are important, but your safety is more important. Stop now, my lord." "Nana, my lord," Yang and Ziyu, titled Elder Douluo, and countless people shouted. Feng looked up at the struggling Liena, appreciate her hard work and desperate spirit. In the arena, as long as you accept the Star Officer's challenge, any injuries from the fall heal quickly and are not life-threatening. A few more minutes passed to the ring, but were blocked by defensive formations. Lucky Golden Feather immediately flew out and caught Liena. Gently put it on the ground, then flew to Lin Feng and was taken away. Character, Liena, mental strength, 39,810, rating, C, reward, a 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by God, remarks, can be given as a gift. Lin Feng was quite surprised when he saw the information in his mind. This is the first time that the system has given rewards that can be gifted. At this time, Liena staggered and got up. She could clearly feel that her exhausted mental power was recovering rapidly. 3 or 4 points recovered in the blink of an eye, which was a shock. So he looked up at the silver-haired man on the futon, feeling grateful in his heart. Liena walked over and smiled, and asked, "Senior, what kind of rating did I get in the Star Officer Challenge? Is there a rating higher than Feng Xia Ocean's D+? P.S. The second update, February 4th. Chapter 13 God bestowed 100,000-year soul ring. Liena is the first in the double gold monument, and the third lucky star feather is obtained by Tang San on the ring." When Liena asked these words, Bibi Dong and the others under the ring became nervous. Feng Xia Ocean is only within the territory of the Heaven Dao Empire. Students of Kamikaze Academy received a rating of D+. The reward for the second soul-breaking gun. If Liena gets a grade lower than D+, I'm afraid I will be ridiculed by the world. To ridicule the incompetence of the golden generation of Wuhun is related to the reputation of Wuhun among the crowd. Various forces hide undercover agents. After meeting Feng Xia Ocean, he accepted the Star Official Challenge. After getting the second soul-breaking spear, he was extremely shocked. A small number of people have already left Wuhun City. Send the important news about the challenge of the Star Officials back to their respective forces. There are also some who continue to stay. His gaze was fixed on Liena on the ring. Lin Feng looked at Liena in front of him and nodded. At this moment, Liena's face showed joy. He clenches his fist happily, like a triumphant general. Under the ring, Bibi Dong and the others breathed a sigh of relief. "I am really happy for the little girl," continued Liena. "Congratulations on your mental strength. It reached 39,810 points. The rating of C is a full grade higher than yesterday's D rating. This is your reward, a 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by God, which can be given as a gift." Lin Feng squeezed out a light blue ball of light in his hand, and flew in front of Liena. It turned into a token the size of a palm, with the word God engraved on the front, exuding the dark red light that belongs only to the 100,000-year soul ring. There is also a terrifying breath of soul power. Suddenly, the God-bestowed spirit ring appeared in his field of vision. The aura of the 100,000-year spirit ring revealed everyone was extremely powerful. Year spirit ring. It was still the same year as Ju Douluo Yuguan, Ghost Douluo Gixi. They sneaked into the soft-bone rabbit's territory together and hunted down the soft-bone rabbit that was 100,000 years old. 100,000-year soul beasts are powerful and very rare. How difficult it is to capture at the same time. Now even looking at the entire Douluo Continent, a soul master with a soul ring of 100,000 years. That's no more than 5 people. Unexpectedly, this time Liena accepted the Star Officer's Challenge to get a C rating. You can actually get a God-bestowed 100,000-year soul ring. The most important thing is that this God-bestowed spirit ring can be given as a gift in this way. The value of the soul ring increased again. It's like an imprisoned 100,000-year-old soul beast anyone can imbibe at any time. Bibi Dong noticed that someone in the crowd showed greed. Immediately he snorted coldly, and the aura of level 98 soul power exploded. To suppress the dignity of the audience, he said, Nana is my direct disciple, Bibi Dong, the holy maiden of Wuhun, one of the golden generation. I want to see which blind guy dares to make an idea of this God-bestowed spirit ring. Everyone in the audience, including elder titled Douluo to the dazed apprentice on the ring, Nana, quickly put away the God-bestowed spirit ring. This is your reward? No one dares to peep. Liena nodded and looked at Bibi Dong. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. He smiled excitedly and said, Thank you, teacher. Then, she stretched out her hand nervously. He held the 100,000-year God-bestowed spirit ring exuding scarlet glow in his hand. There was a happy smile on the corner of his mouth, secretly a little proud. The girl held the God-bestowed soul ring in both hands for accepting the Star Officials challenge. It has nothing to do with me. You don't need to thank me. As soon as the words fell, he shot a stream of mysterious energy into the air. The third challenge golden monument appeared. The word spirit is engraved on the head of the steel. Behind the number 1 in the sequence, Liena's name appeared muttered quietly, Senior, why have you been so cold? It's not a physical problem, is it? But just as she finished speaking, the corners of Lin Feng's mouth twitched slightly. Who wouldn't be attracted to a beautiful woman with fair skin and long legs like Liena? But his current identity is a star official. It's a public place again, and it would be nice if it's an in-depth exchange in private. Lin Feng looked at Liena coldly and cast sullen eyes. Liena was quite frightened, knowing that what she muttered was heard. Hastily bowed and apologized and said, Senior, Liena knew she was wrong. I shouldn't offend my seniors. I'm the one talking too much. The girl raised her hand and patted her face pretendingly. Then he turned around and ran down the ring in a desperate manner. Seeing Liena's cute side, Lin Feng smiled. Pope Bibi Dong, teacher, I got a 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by God. Look, Liena came to Bibi Dong. Handing over the soul ring in his hand, he said triumphantly. Titled Douluo such as Yuguan and Ghost are doing well, with this God-given 100,000-year spirit ring. After you absorb it, your strength will definitely take a huge leap. Liena looked like a praised child. His cheeks were slightly red and he said, I will work harder in the future, to live up to the teacher, and the expectations of the seniors. Everyone looked at Xionizi's appearance, involuntarily looking at the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring. If Liena can be favored by her seniors for Wuhun, it will be a great joy. Maybe Lin Feng will be in a good mood at that time, and it may not be necessary to give more lucky Xingayu. Ghost Leopard Douluo next to him looked at the golden monument that appeared in the sky, excitedly shouted, Your Pope, Your Lady, look, the third challenge golden monument has appeared in the sky. This is a spiritual type of golden monument. One again. Everyone looked up, remembering the rewards every 3 days. I am really envious in my heart. Liena seemed to have thought of something, and stuffed the God-bestowed spirit ring into Bibi Dong's hand. Said anxiously, Teacher, please take care of the God-bestowed spirit ring for me first. After that, she turned around and trotted towards the ring again. Without the lucky golden feather, she was not blocked by the defensive formation. This shocked my jaw. Many people tried to get on the ring, but were blown away by the defensive formation. Lin Feng looked through a gap in the corner of his eye. Seeing Liena running into the ring, slowly opened his eyes and said, Liena, what else do you want? 2 rewards every 3 days. Lin Feng nodded and said, That's right, added another sentence. A person can obtain the settlement rewards of multiple golden monuments at the same time. There is no limit. Liena's heart blossomed with joy all of a sudden. Subconsciously, she rushed forward and opened her arms to give the other party a hug. Lin Feng enjoyed the scent of his daughter's body coming towards him. But in response, he raised his hand and transformed into an enchantment, and said coldly, Don't come near me. Liena bumped directly into the barrier and took a few steps back. Her cheeks were slightly red. She stuck out her tongue and said shyly, Sorry, I forgot about this. That's right, Senior, who got the 3rd lucky star feather today? Can you tell me? There was a playfulness in Lin Feng's eyes, and he said, Tang San is the same as you. He got the lucky golden feather yesterday and today. Officer's challenge. I don't know if I will come today. He pretended to be sorry, observing Bibi Dong's expression under the ring. However, she saw that the woman's face turned frosty instantly, and a terrifying killing intent surged around her. P.S. The third update, March 4th. Chapter 14. The Pope ordered to wait for Tang San. A thought from Bibi Dong. For a moment, Lin Feng's words sounded arena. The finals of the Continental Elite Soul Master competition 3 years ago. Tang San led the Shrek Academy team in Wuhan City. Defeated the Wuhun Temple team led by Liena, Ziyu, and Yan. Won first place in the competition. The limelight was the same for a while, and it swept the entire Soul Master world. At that time, Tang San's strength was only soul sect, but relying on twin martial souls, the second martial soul, the Clear Sky Hammer. With the help of hidden weapons, Li Wangquanglin created a miracle Tang San to Liena and the others. It is the greatest shame and deep hatred, not to mention Pope Bibi Dong leading the titled Elder Douluo. He wants to capture Xiao Wu, whose body is a 100,000-year-old soft-bone rabbit. He was unexpectedly rescued by Hao Xianzong Tang Hao, who had disappeared for many years. The papal palace was badly destroyed. This also became the disgrace of Wuhun Temple in the past 3 years. He has become the laughingstock of the Soul Master world. Pope Bibi Dong during these 3 years sent countless people all over the mainland to look for Tang Hao and Tang San's traces. Unfortunately, nothing was gained. Never expected that Tang San would get the lucky star feather, and it was obtained twice in a row yesterday and today. All the titled Douluo elders of Wuhan Hall obey orders. Guard this ring for me. There must be no mistakes. If Tang San dares to accept the Star Officials challenge today. Period. No matter what the price is, he must be captured. Headed by Yuguan, Ghost, and Ghost Leopard Douluo. All the titled Douluo elders in unison. Obey, my Lord Pope. Bibi Dong looked at Yuguan with eyes full of killing intent. Commanded and said, Elder Ju, you go to the worship hall now. Inform the Grand Priest about the Star Officials challenge. At the same time, make preparations for the worship hall. If Tang Hao and Tang San really dare to accept the Star Officials challenge today, at a critical moment, we may need the assistance of the Shrine Hall. Yuguan came to the Pope and responded respectfully, Obey, my Lord Pope, I'm going to the Hall of Worship. Immediately afterwards, Yuguan flew into the air under the gaze of everyone. Headed towards the direction of Enshrinement Hall. The ordinary people and soul masters around all showed terrified expressions, although they were envious of Feng Xiaoshan and Liena for being able to accept the Star Officers challenge, but due to the lack of luck, Zhengaiyu was not eligible to participate at all. Now it is known that Tang San got the lucky star feather today. There is a great possibility to accept the Star Official challenge. There are so many titled Douluo elders in Wuhun, and once Tang San appeared, he would be protected by Tang Hao. It must be inevitable. It is not suitable to stay here for a long time, and they left one after another. I don't want to get into unnecessary trouble. Instead, I was excited to tell about what I saw today. Share all the Star Officials challenges. This is an extremely heavy news, enough to cause a sensation in the entire Douluo Continent. On the ring, Lin Feng looked at Liena, who was trotting down. Continue to close your eyes and meditate, in a daze. Every day, his task is to start the Star Official challenge for those who get the lucky star feather. Overseeing the process, handing out rewards, that's all. Lin Feng is a time traveler. I always feel that my existence is out of place. After all, they are not from this world. He has only one goal now, that is the time to survive these 10 years. At that time, he will gain the ultimate power of the Douluo plane. Go out again. Go out and enjoy life. Lin Feng was only within the scope of the ring in order to control the power of the formation. It is almost invincible. It was too unsafe outside for him. What if you are unlucky and get killed? However, at this time Lin Feng sensed Liena's breath on the stage again. Slowly opening his eyes, he saw her running towards him. Smiling, opened his mouth and said, Liena, what else do you want? Liena kept the other party's words in mind, and stopped at the position of 2 meters with a charming smile on her small face. She said flatteringly, Senior, my teacher is the Pope of Spirit Hall. She has admired you for a long time. Senior, I hope to invite seniors to visit the Pope's palace. I don't know if Senior can show you face. After she said these words, Bibi Dong, Ghost and others under the ring became excited. Let's not say that Lin Feng's strength is unfathomable just for his Star Official status. Distribute lucky star feathers every day to open Star Official challenges for others to issue various rewards. You must make good friends. If the other party is in a good mood, wouldn't it be a lot of money to secretly give a few star feathers? Lin Feng's eyes turned towards the gemstone scepter in his hand under the ring, dressed in a fitted maxi gown. Bibi Dong, who outlines the perfect curvature of a woman's plump and round body. The already sullen boy's heart became agitated. This skin is so white, and these legs are so long. This water bag is full. I can't hold it. Bibi Dong met the opponent's gaze and smiled, although she found that the guy's eyes were not pure. But he didn't take it to heart. Being able to make a young man lose his temper proves that she still has charm. And Bibi Dong is not a little girl who has not experienced much in the world. As the Supreme Pope of Wuhan Hall, she understands that as long as a person has desire, then there is a way to pry it. What men care about is nothing more than wealth and law. The ring. Lin Feng found a playful look in Bibi Dong's eyes, responding instantly. The secret path is dangerous. With a straight face, he put on the appearance of a gentleman, shaking his head indifferently. He said, "No need, I like to be clean, let's go down." Immediately, Lin Feng quickly closed his eyes and continued to meditate, really dazed, a little panicked. "I'm afraid that this old fox, Bibi Dong, will see the clue if it goes on like this." Exposed nature. Who Liena wanted to ask more loudly. It can be seen that the opponent closed his eyes and had no choice but to walk off the ring. Said to teacher Bibi Dong, "Teacher, you heard it too, senior. He likes to be clean, refused to go to the papal palace." Bibi Dong frowned, and stared at the cross-legged meditator on the ring. The silver-haired man, who looked like an old monk in meditation, thought to himself, "Could it be that my feeling is wrong? Isn't this guy that kind of guy?" Bibi Dong looked at Liena, and ordered, "Nana, you go up again, let senior remove the formation. I want to go up and talk to him. I hope I can give it a chance." Liena nodded, turned around and entered the ring. He came to the silver-haired man and bowed and said, "Senior, let me bother you again. My teacher wants to come up and have a chat with you. Can you temporarily release the formation and let her come up?" Lin Feng still closed his eyes tightly and ignored it. This made Liena, Bibi Dong and the others very anxious. 10 seconds later, when the little girl felt lost and wanted to step off the ring, he just opened his eyes and reluctantly said, "Yes, just one chance, 3 minutes." As soon as the words fell, a stream of mysterious energy was shot out and submerged into Bibi Dong's body. Liena was overjoyed, and hastily shouted, "Teacher, senior agrees, come up quickly." Bibi Dong looked at the apprentice who came before her and nodded. He tidied up the dress on his body a little bit, and pulled back his hair. Women still care about their appearance. Then came to the edge of the ring. Reach out and gently touch the defensive formation. It was found that it was not shocked, and passed through directly. Bibi Dong showed her happy face, and strode onto the ring. Come to the position 2 meters in front of the foot. On the left hand holds a gemstone scepter. On the ground said with a smile, "Senior, I am Nana's teacher, Pope Bibi Dong of the Spirit Hall." Twice, Lin Feng looked up at the beautiful woman in front of him. His eyes fell on that place that is not suitable for children. Breathing a little short, Kaiang Zhen said with a light smile, "Open the star official challenge for those who get the lucky star feather. It's my duty." When he waved his hand, a futon appeared in front of him. Bibi Dong was flattered and said, "Thank you, senior." After that, she sat down in front of the silver-haired man. There was a safe distance of 2 meters between them, but such a head-up angle can make Lin Feng ill. It can be a good feast for the eyes. The heart is happy to go to heaven, and the surface is as calm as an old dog. Slowly said, "I don't know His Excellency Pope, what can you do with me?" P.S. The 4th update, April 4th. Chapter 15. Be my Vice Pope of Spirit Hall? Senior Nana has a crush on you. This time there is no Tang San. Bibi Dong sat cross-legged on the futon. He was staring at the silver-haired man in front of him. His face was slightly astonished. When I got closer, I realized that this guy was a bit handsome. It can only be described as Master Pian Shi was showing this level of appearances even for ordinary people without soul power. It is more than enough to rely on face to eat. In the next second, Bibi Dong came to her senses. He coughed slightly in embarrassment, his face unnatural. She took a deep breath and smiled gently. Looking directly into each other's eyes, he said enthusiastically, "Senior, as a star official, you start a star official challenge for lucky people every day. It's really a blessing." Lin Feng discovered the moment when this woman was obsessed just now. "I secretly feel a little proud in my heart." "Little boy, are you still fascinated?" With a straight face, he said majestically, "My lord, please speak up if you have anything to say. No need to beat around the bush." Bibi Dong was even more embarrassed, and said, "Since the seniors have said so, then I will cut to the chase. My Spirit Hall is the largest organization of soul masters in the mainland, having more than half of the mainland soul master reserves. Whether it's background or strength, they are all superior to other sects, comparable to the 2 great empires. Today, Bibi Dong dared to invite senior to join my Spirit Hall. Become my Wuhundian Vice Pope. I wonder if Senior is willing to accept my offer. Immediately, Pope Bibi Dong's words shocked to Liena under the ring. Ghost, Leopard Douluo and others were shocked. Since the establishment of Wuhundian, there is only one post of Pope. Unexpectedly, Bibi Dong wanted to win over the other party. He even made a deal with the position of Vice Pope. But then I thought about it. If the position of Vice Pope is mere the future, the Star Official Challenge will be opened exclusively for the people of Wuhundian, or Wuhundian made a lot of money. Lin Feng's expression remained unchanged, and he was even a little speechless. What the hell is the Vice Pope? More or less the Pope? How could he not understand what Bibi Dong was planning? But the lucky star feathers that I distribute every day are all random, so I can't decide. Lin Feng shook his head and said, "Thank you, Your Majesty, for your kindness. I'm used to being alone. I don't want to join any forces. If there's nothing else, please go back. 3 minutes are almost up." The smile on Bibi Dong's face stopped abruptly, unexpectedly. This guy didn't give any face. I can only hide my sullenness and get up, said coldly. Farewell. After saying the simple words, she walked down the ring holding the gemstone scepter, returned to the Pope's palace with apprentice Liena. A group of titled Douluo elders were left here to guard. If Tang San dares to come to accept the challenge of the Star Official, he can be arrested in time under the arena. Those people and soul masters who are still here secretly talking about the rejection of Pope Bibi Dong, seeing that no one continued to accept the Star Officer's challenge, they dispersed one after another on the ring. Lin Feng closed his eyes and meditated, lifting a slate in the corner of his eyes. He looked at Bibi Dong and Liena in the distance. I thought to myself, is Bibi Dong in menopause? The face changes faster than the sky. This woman's personality is too strong. It's not worth it. It's better to be Liena, as docile as a kitten. The youthful figure of Liena appeared in Lin Feng's mind. Immediately give Bibi Dong a pass. Sexy is nothing compared to cuteness. I don't know if Tang San has the guts to accept the Star Official's challenge today. Tang San, the lucky son of Douluo. I'm really curious about what kind of person he is. Lin Feng had read Douluo's original novels and animations. The impression of Tang San itself is not good, especially a famous joke ridiculed by netizens. According to the Zhuanshan treasure record, you already have the way to die. People who can say such things are really hopeless. On the other side, the Hall of Worship Chrysanthemum Douluo Yuguan came here in the first place. The terrifying imposing priest Jin Daoli looking at the moon below. His face was serious and he said, "Go back and tell Bibi Dong. The old man knows about the Star Officer's challenge. If Tang San and Tang Hao dare to appear in Wuhan City, the Hall of Enshrinement will never stand idly by." Yu Guan respectfully replied, "Of order, great offering." Then, he turned around and left the worship hall. Returned to the Pope's palace to return to life. At this time, Jin Daoli said to the surroundings, "Come out, golden crocodile." The next moment, an old man with white beard and hair appeared. The breath on his body was extremely strong, and he was holding a bamboo and wooden crutch in his hand. Officer's challenge in advance. Jin Daoli looked at the golden crocodile in front of him, and ordered, "Golden crocodile, the Star Officer's challenge is of great importance. Period. I order you to go to Wuhan City Square and try that person's reality." Golden crocodile Douluo replied, "Yes, great offering." Douluo under the ring all had solemn faces. He looked a little unnatural. Suddenly, a golden energy wave descended from the sky, shocking countless people. They fled away one after another. Then the golden energy wave bombarded heavily on the defensive formation of the ring. Power gradually disappeared, although Lin Feng didn't know who did it. But this soul power reached level 98 and appeared in Wuhan City again. It was determined that it was the second enshrinement of the worship hall, Golden Crocodile Douluo. "Jin Daoliu, you old bastard, dare to send people to do tricks. I remember you." When everything returned to calm, Ghost and other titled Douluo quickly surrounded the ring again. In the Pope's palace, Bibi Dong looked at the disciples below with a displeased expression, said aloud, "Nana, that guy is somewhat clueless. I promised to let him be the Vice Pope of Wuhundian. He even refused, not be qualified to accept the challenge of Star Officials." When Bibi Dong heard these words, the anger in her heart dissipated a lot. "Walk down with the gem scepter in hand," he said earnestly to his disciples. "Nana, then, Senior seems to have a crush on you. In the future, you need to walk around more with your seniors to get along well. Can Wuhundian get some more lucky star feathers in the future? It's all up to you." Liena's cheeks were slightly red, and she said shyly and nervously, "Teacher, don't talk nonsense. Senior, why does he have a good impression of me? He's always looked so cold." Bibi Dong stretched out her hand to caress her apprentice's head, and said fondly, "Nana, The teacher is from experience, senior, he definitely has a crush on you. It can't be wrong. I remember that you little girl is good at cooking. You can try to make some soup and make some snacks to send to the seniors. As long as seniors are willing to eat what you cook, there will be fun. Liena blushed and lowered her head. After hesitating for a long time, he could only nod his head and whispered, "Teacher, let me try." Bibi Dong nodded in satisfaction, and the two chatted for a while. Liena left in a hurry. She returned to the throne above and sat down again. Red Lips set off a playful smile and said, "Boy, Nana was raised by me. Unless you are not a man, you will definitely bow down under her pomegranate skirt. Then, only for my spirit hall to use." In the blink of an eye, the sky turned gray. Tang San did not show up in Wuhan City for a long time to accept the star official's challenge. The time came to midnight. Lin Feng on the ring opened his eyes, and 3 lucky star feathers appeared in his hand. "It's time, let's call it a day." Feathers shone with a golden light and turned into 3 names: Liena, Ma Hongjian, Uzia Gang. P.S. The first change, January 4th. Chapter 16. Liena was chosen. The Pope couldn't face Uzia Gang, Xiao Wu's good friend Daming Erminghe. That's really weird. How come Liena was chosen by Lucky Xingyu again? System, don't you have a convulsion? Lin Feng was a little speechless, but as soon as he saw Ma Hongjian and Uzia Gang behind him, in an instant, I felt that Liena was also pretty good. At least she's a big beauty, isn't she? Ma Hongjian, pure color embryo, to be the Shrek Academy in Heaven Dao City. Isn't that Uzia Gang's lair? Flender the 4-eyed owl, that money-grubbing guy is here, and Liu Long, the female Tyrannosaurus. When he thought of these 2 Douluo characters, he instantly became interested. His eyes glanced under the ring. It was found that the ghosts and other titled Douluo were eavesdropping with their ears sideways. He didn't pay attention to it, and urged the formation. The next moment, he appeared out of thin air in the arena of Wuhan City Square. It just disappeared in the empty square. Only titled Douluo such as ghosts and ghosts remain. There are also ordinary people in 2s and 3s. Everyone didn't react for a while. Ghost Douluo Gui Mei's eyes widened, overjoyed and excited. He said, "Nana, she was chosen by Lucky Xingyu again." Ghost Leopard Douluo frowned and said in disgust, "I didn't expect it to be Ma Hongjian and Uzia Gang this time. Be the one chosen by Lucky Xingyu. Why are they? They are not qualified to accept the Star Officer's challenge at all." It is not difficult to hear the words. His desire to get the lucky star feather. The other titled Douluo elders around. They also clenched their fists tightly, feeling unwilling. Others looked at each other and nodded, responded, "Yes, Elder Ghost." Then, the ghost flew into the air and headed for the papal palace, the corner of his mouth. Period. Born with charming peach eyes, captivating, showing a distinctive charm at this time, a golden light bloomed. Liena's cheeks were reflected, and her eyes shone with the golden light in an instant. He looked happy and excited just because of that familiar golden feather in front of her miraculously appeared. Lucky golden feather. I was chosen. I'm really chosen. The towel on Liena fell to the ground. Quickly mention it. Stretch out your hand and touch Lucky Xingyu, who exudes a mysterious aura. Immediately, the whole person was startled. The majestic voice of the man sounded in his mind. After a while, the smile on the corner of Liena's mouth disappeared. With hatred in his eyes, he said coldly, "I didn't expect the Star Officer's challenge location this time. It was refreshed in Shrek Academy in Xian Dao City. Tang San, let's wait and see. One day, I will defeat you squarely, wash away the shame of 3 years ago, and rectify the name of Wuhun Temple." Suddenly, she thought of something. A trace of tenderness and shyness appeared in the eyes. He hurriedly picked up his clothes and walked into the bathroom, happily talking to himself. Before going to Heaven Dao City, follow the teacher's request. Make something delicious for the seniors and take it with you. I don't know what senior likes to eat. In the Pope's palace, Pope Bibi Dong had a tired look on his face. After arriving late, he walked to the Pope and sat down, staring at Ghost Douluo. Ghost below. The voice was a little impatient, sullenly said, "Ghost Douluo, do you come here late at night to report something important?" The ghost saw that the Pope was not in good condition, and immediately said, "Report to the Pope. Not long ago, day in the ring, Nana was chosen by Lucky Xingyu again." When Bibi Dong heard the news, she stood up directly from the Pope's seat. Holding the gemstone scepter in his hand, he threw it heavily. Sweeping away the fatigue before, he said in surprise, "What? Nana was chosen by Lucky Xingyu again? God bless my spirit hall. God bless my spirit hall." "That's right, Ghost Douluo. Do you know the other 2 lucky star feathers?" Who did you choose? Bibi Dong looked excited, secretly looking forward to it. She was selected by Lucky Xingyu yesterday, but she missed it unfortunately. Seeing Feng Xiaoshan and Liena accepting the Star Official Challenge. Obtain the second Wuhun soul-breaking spear. When the god bestowed 100,000-year soul ring as a reward, a chance to surpass Jin Daoliu in a short time, the ghost suddenly looked a little ugly, and said, "My lord, the Pope, the other two lucky star feathers, respectively by Ma Hongjin from Shrek Academy, and Yu Xiagang got it, and this time the Star Official Challenge location, refreshed in Shrek Academy in Heaven Dao City, what? Was, small, got by Yu Xiagang, Heaven Dao City. Shrek Academy." Bibi Dong suddenly lost her composure, and her breathing was a little short. Sitting on the Pope's throne again, he rubbed his head. He closed his eyes and said in a cold voice, "Ghost Douluo, go gather Chrysanthemum Douluo, Ghost Leopard Douluo, Sea Turtle Douluo, Demon Bear Douluo, the five of you escorted Nana to Xian Dao City overnight, there must be no mistakes." The ghost looked at the Pope, who was usually aloof, wise and mighty. Now that it has become like this, I sigh helplessly. He hated Yu Xiagang even more. If it wasn't for Pope Bibi Dong, Yu Xiagang died 1,000 times long ago. The entire Douluo Continent, in just half a day. About the arena that appeared in Wuhan City. Mysterious silver-haired man, challenged by star officials. Wait for a series of incredible news. It spread thoroughly and became a household legend. Not only the world of soul masters, but even ordinary civilians. We all know that a mysterious figure appeared in this world. As long as you are selected by Lucky Xingyu, you have to get the chance to accept the Star Officials Challenge and make Xianyu stand up. For a time, on the mainland longed for Lucky Xingyu. The news was finally learned by the Soul Beast clan. It is spreading at a frightening pace. However, due to the difference between humans and animals, most soul beasts with spiritual intelligence are skeptical. Scorpion braids and wears crystal shoes. A cute and innocent girl is sitting here. She was shaking her slender long legs, swinging. Xiao Wu stretched out her hand to caress Ming's head. While looking up at the three mysterious golden monuments that appeared in the sky, he murmured, Ming, tell me, will the Star Officials Challenge be real? He said in a simple and honest voice, Sister Wu, human beings are a bunch of despicable fellows. Everything they did was to lure us away from the Star Dao Forest. It's good to take the opportunity to hunt and absorb the spirit ring. You can go and not be fooled. Xiao Wu's eyes glowed with longing, and she stroked Ming's head lightly. He smiled and said, Ming, don't worry, I'm going to stay here and not go anywhere. With you and Ming here, Xiao Wu is very happy every day. At this time, Xian King Bull Python leaned over and said, Sister Wu, as long as you stay in the core area, Ming and I can keep you safe, and no one can hurt you. Xiao Wu smiled sweetly, looked at them and said moved, Ming, it's great to have good friends like you. PS. The second update, February 4th. Chapter 17. Flender, who is greedy for money, Yu Xiagang wants to change his destiny through the Star Official Challenge. Tang San regrets it. Late at night, Shrek Academy Square. A student who was bored at night came out for a walk. Found the arena that appeared in the square. His face changed slightly and he rubbed his eyes. It was found that the arena was still there, and the breath it emitted challenge. The big thing is not good. The big thing is not good. Period. No, good news, don't sleep, everyone, get up and have a look. The Star Officials Challenge stage has appeared in our Shrek Academy, in the scream of this student. In 10 minutes, the news spread throughout the academy. A large number of students rushed to the ring without sleepiness. There was a lot of discussion, although I didn't see the silver-haired man in the rumors. Down the excitement and joy. You know, today is in Wuhan City. Feng Xiaoshan obtained the second soul-breaking spear. Liena received news of a 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by God. It has long been known and envied. Some students tried to get on the ring, but were blocked by formations. It doesn't matter who launched the attack. Wuji, with big arms and round waist, is as big as a pony. Raised his huge palm and slapped the door. He yelled at the top of his voice, Boss, open the door quickly, something serious has happened. After a while, a hook-eyed man with gold-rimmed glasses appeared. The middle-aged man with dark circles opened the door. Aren't you? Damn it, if the door breaks, I want you to pay for it. Zhao Wuji shrank his head and explained, Boss, I don't want to disturb your rest either, but something big happened to Shrek Academy. Today, the arena that received the Star Officials Challenge that has been buzzing throughout the Douluo Continent has appeared in the Shrek Academy Square. A large number of students are gathered there now. boss, hurry up and have a look. Flender snorted coldly. Zhao Waoqi, I think you've got itchy skin. You even bothered me with such a trivial matter. What? The Star Officials Challenge stage has appeared in the Shrek Academy Square. Zhao Waoqi nodded in haste, heaved a sigh of relief and said, that's right, boss, let's hurry up and control the field. Unexpectedly, Flender gracefully pushed the gold-rimmed glasses Jianji and said, Zhao Waoqi, we have developed. Hurry up and spread the news that the ring will appear in our Shrek Academy. Then go and inform Erlong and the other teachers. Everyone follow me to the gate of Shrek Academy to collect the entrance fee, 1 per person. No, too few. Each person charges an entry fee of 10 gold soul coins. Even if Emperor Zi is here, let him obediently pay the money. Flender laughed wildly. Dreaming of his own prosperous spring and autumn dreams, Zhao Wuji saw such a boss with the help of the Forehead. The nickname of the four-eyed owl who is greedy for money is not for nothing at this time. An excited shout came from a distance. Dean Flender, it's bad, huh? Teacher Zhao, you are here too? Flender and Zhao Wuji saw Ma Hongjin. Flender walked over and put his arm around Ma Hongjin's shoulders, and laughed loudly. Ma Hongjin, your boy came at the right time. Come on, follow me to the gate to collect money. Ma Hongjin glanced at Zhao Wuji who was shaking his head beside him. Breaking free, he took out a golden feather and said, Dean Flender, wait a moment, look, I actually got the lucky star feathers needed to accept the Star Officials Challenge. Both Flender and Zhao Waoqi stared wide-eyed. The two came over with shocked expressions, which turned into endless joy. Flender patted the little fat man on the shoulder, nodded in satisfaction and said, Ma Hongjin, you kid can do it. Now selected by Lucky Xingyu, after accepting the Star Officials Challenge, the strength will definitely skyrocket. Fight for Shrek Academy. Zhao Wuji also said, Ma Hongjin, you kid is lucky. It looks like I'm going to look at you with admiration in the future. However, Ma Hongjin rubbed his nose. With a bitter face, he said, Dean Flender, Teacher Zhao, I was able to obtain the lucky star feather and accept the Star Officers Challenge. It is indeed a great joy, but if Wuhan or other forces send people to make trouble secretly, I'm afraid my little life can't stand the toss. Ma Hongjin is timid and afraid of getting into trouble. He is very afraid of death. Worried that what happened to Tang San 3 years ago would happen to him. He understands the reason why it is a crime to conceive a jade. He didn't believe that Haoshin Douluo would save him by then. Not everyone belongs to Tang San. Flender snorted coldly, and looked at Zhao Wuji. He said in a concentrated voice, Ma Hongjin, don't worry, as long as I'm here, Shrek Academy is here, Wuhan will never dare to touch you. Flender tightly and cried, Dean Flender, you are really kind to me. Hey, Ma Hongjin, take it easy, my old bones are almost torn apart by you. Flender looked disgusted and cursed. Zhao Waoqi watched such a happy scene. Smiling sincerely, the three of them left here together. Shrek Academy, Fengai 1. Uzziah Gang held a feather exuding divine golden light in his hand, and a majestic voice sounded in his mind. He came to his senses and embraced Liu Erlong excitedly. With a slightly trembling voice, he said with joy, 2 dragons, I was chosen by Lucky Xingyu. I'm qualified to accept the Star Officers Challenge. Maybe I can also get a second martial spirit. This way I will get rid of Luo Sanpao, get rid of the infamy of trash and become a real soul master with offensive power. Don't be looked down upon anymore. Liu Erlong gently wiped away the tears from the man's eyes. He said distressedly, Zio Gang, this is really great. I have confidence in you. You will be able to pass this Star Official Challenge, rewrite your own destiny. When the two encourage each other, there was a sound of footsteps in the distance, and they quickly separated from each other. Trouble secretly Uzziah Gang, Flender, and Liu Erlong entered the palace overnight to meet His Majesty Zuyi. In one night, the news about the Star Official challenging the arena to appear in Shrek Academy swept the entire Heavendao city, and it spread to the entire Heavendao Empire, and was known by many forces, sending people there one after another. Under Flender's arrangement, in front of the gate of Shrek Academy, a team organized by teachers and students began to collect entry fees openly. 10 gold soul coins per person can be said to be a lot of money, but it also caused a lot of abuse outside the starred out Great Forest, the mixed area, and a certain hidden cave. Tang San gradually walked away alone, staring at the 3 mysterious golden steelies in the sky with eyes that were flowing with purple light. He said unwillingly, Dad went out for a trip today. I didn't expect the Star Officials Challenge to be real. It's not a scam from Wuhan. Feng Xiaoshan actually accepted the Star Officials challenge and obtained the second spirit-breaking gun. Liena also got a 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by God. But I wasted 2 chances to accept the challenge. Damn it. Tang San's eyes were red, and his eyes were about to burst. The thought of throwing away Lucky Xingyu twice before made his heart bleed. Tang San firmly believed that his talent was definitely above Feng Xiaoshan and Liena. If he accepted those 2 Star Official challenges, he would be able to reach a higher level, but if he missed it, he would miss it after all. I don't know. When will I get Lucky Star Feather again? Tang San unwillingly turned around and returned to the cave. The next day, in the compartment on the ring, Lin Feng stretched from the bed and sat up, energetically said, "It's a new day, it's time to go to work." P.S. The third update, March 4th. Chapter 18 Flender, the Business Ghost, the Master of the Deep City, Ma Hongjin starts the attack challenge Shrek Academy. At the square at this time, a large number of students gathered here. There are also those soul masters who came to watch the challenge of the Star Officials. The entry fee is 10 gold soul coins per person. Ordinary civilians can't afford to pay and can't get in. The whole square is divided into several areas. The closer to the arena, the higher the price. Additional charges apply. Flender, the dean of Shrek Academy. He stood on a tall building and looked at the situation in the square. School's normal 10-year profit. Zhao Waoqi stood by and helplessly supported his forehead. Shrek Academy is a high-level Soul Master Academy, recognized by the royal family of the Heavendao Empire. But to make such a move is really a bit embarrassing. On the edge of the arena, there are special Shrek Academy teachers patrolling. To maintain order, anyone dares to discuss and make noise, they will all be kicked out, and no money will be refunded. Countless Soul Masters dared not speak out, in order to witness the Star Officials challenge. I can only endure temporarily. The front of the arena is the area for Shrek Academy students. A group of college teachers stood at the front, led by Liu Erlong and Yu Xiaogang. Ma Hongjin stood beside him proudly. Put your hands on your back and put on the look of a master. Good. At this time, the compartment door on the ring was opened. A young man in white clothes with fluttering silver hair came out. He doesn't have any soul power breath on him. It looks ordinary. But that handsome face was as flawless as a precious jade. It's like a fairy descending from the sky. How amazing. The appearance of the silver-haired man made all the female students in the audience silence. As a result, the scene became quiet again. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the ring. Slowly walked to the young man who sat down on the futon. Excited, extremely admiring. Yu Xiaogang saw the man walk out of the cubicle. Immediately, he frowned, feeling that his appearance was threatened. It was also found that the other party had no soul power breath. Accepting the challenge of the Star Official and changing my destiny from last night until now, I feel a little disappointed. Inexplicably, Ma Hongjin put his hands on his hips, his expression a little displeased because of the female trainee who just screamed. There are few that he sees right instantly felt green on the head, but soon, he put these little things down. As long as you accept the challenge of the Star Official, you can improve your strength. Are you still worried about not being able to find a beautiful girlfriend? Thousands of people in the audience are all at this moment. They remain silent in a very tacit understanding, expecting to look at the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring. Lin Feng sat on the futon, closed his eyes and meditated. Moving like a mountain is like entering the land of no one. There is a posture that does not change color before the mountain collapses. In fact, he opened a slit in the corner of his eye and looked at the surrounding situation. What the hell is this Shrek Academy doing? What about the military training? The queue is so neat. Lin Feng was a little speechless, but he saw signs in several places. It says 20 gold soul coin area, behind the 100 gold soul coin area. I can't laugh or cry. It turned out that it was all done by Flender, the four-eyed owl who was greedy for money. This Flender just took advantage of my opportunity to set up a ring here today. I made a lot of money. It's unreasonable. If this doesn't pay half of my appearance fee, it won't make sense. Lin Feng complained a few words in his heart. Attention was drawn to a short-cut man by the side of the ring. He is standing with his hands behind his back, quite in a posture. Gives an unfathomable feeling. But that face looked majestic, but it was actually a little dark. The bridge of the nose is sunken, the lips are thin and slender, and slightly mean. Generally, this kind of villain has a very deep scheming heart. Could this insidious guy be Yu Xiaogang, the number one scumbag master in Douluo? The woman next to her is wearing a blue dress though, but with sharp eyes and a lot of muscle in the arms. It should be Liu Erlong, who is famous for having a female tyrannosaur in human form. Hey, another love brain, just like Bibi Dong, being tricked by Yu Zhigang into digging wild vegetables. I still feel very happy. Red head, pot belly, little, big fat guy, no mistake, that should be Ma Hongjin who possesses the evil fire phoenix spirit. Lin Feng studied the three of them for a while. The most annoying one was Yu Zhigang, followed by Ma Hongjin. This guy is very playful. And he didn't stop until he met Bai Chengxiang. Liu Erlong's charm still exists, but his fullness is slightly lower than that of Bibi Dong, but it is also very seductive and pleasing to the eye. Lin Feng sat for a while. Thousands of people in the audience didn't make a sound at all, which was really scary. So he opened his eyes and looked around the audience with calm eyes. Majestic said, Yu Zhigang, Ma Hongjin, since you are all here, then come up to accept the Star Officer's challenge. As soon as this remark came out, the audience immediately boiled. There was a deafening discussion, which was extremely lively. No one thought of it. Shrek 7 Monsters, Ma Hongjin. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. The two of them actually got the chance to accept the Star Officials challenge. Really envious of others. The teacher who maintained order got dizzy for a while. He kept uttering reprimands, but he still couldn't control the situation in the end. He had no choice but to give up, shaking his head in the direction of Dean Flender. Flender pushed the gold-rimmed glasses and signaled to forget it in full view of everyone. Liu Erlong touched Yu Zhiagang's arm. Excitedly said, Zhiagang, Senior calls you and Ma Hongjin, hurry up, both of you, to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Ma Hongjin was impatient, looking eager to try. Yu Zhiagang frowned and glanced at the silver-haired man on the ring limelight. You should go up and accept the Star Officer's challenge first. Ma Hongjin nodded, excitedly said, thank you, master, then I'll go up first. After saying that, he lifted his pants and swaggered towards the ring. Carefully stretch out your hand to touch the ring formation. He found that his right hand had passed through, and strode onto the ring. Thousands of people saw this scene, and their breathing became short of breath. Foot on, turned around and looked at the audience. He raised his hands higher in the air than the scissor hands, making a gesture that he thought was cool. Who would have thought, but there was a sigh of relief. Flender and Liu Erlong, Zhao Wuji helplessly supported their foreheads. Really want to kick this disgraceful guy out of the academy. Ma Hongjin did not expect such a situation to appear. Afraid. Then he turned around and saluted, and respectfully shouted, one of the Shrek 7 monsters, Ma Hongjin, meet the seniors. I'm here to accept the Star Officer's challenge. I still hope that the seniors will give advice. Lin Feng looked at the coquettish guy in front of him. I thought to myself, are you here to pretend or to accept the challenge from the Star Official? God, re-inject your soul power, and I will start the Star Official challenge for you. Ma Hongjin replied, yes, senior. After that, he took out a feather exuding sacred golden light from his bosom, and injected it with soul power. Thousands of people in the audience were all staring at Jin Yu at this moment. This is a good baby who can accept the challenge of Star Officials. Lucky Star feather shone golden and flew into the air. 2 words attack, emerged. Lin Feng explained, Ma Hongjin, what you started is the attack challenge. Now you just need to launch your own most powerful means to attack Xingyu. Looking at the lucky star feathers floating above the sky, Ma Hongjin's face became solemn. He is really careless at ordinary times, but this time he cheers to the final reward in the challenge. He must not be sloppy. Clasping his hands tightly, 4 soul, yellow, yellow, purple, and purple, rose from under his feet, with a soul power of 49 soul sects. The ear-piercing the evil fire phoenix resounded, and the power of the flame swept across the entire square. Zhen Sheng shouted loudly, the second soul skill, Phoenix on fire, the third soul skill, Phoenix wings flying to the sky, the fourth soul skill, Phoenix roaring sky strike. P.S. The 4th update, April 4th. Chapter 19 Ma Hongjin receives C rating, rewards Phoenix pill, martial soul evolves, soul power soars to the peak of life. Shrek Academy. On the square arena I saw the second soul ring under Ma Hongjin's feet light up. A layer of scorching flames is attached to the surface of the body. Enhance the power of the phoenix flame of the martial soul of the main body by 30%. This is the second soul skill, Phoenix on fire. The third soul ring lights up. A pair of flame wings condensed behind him, gaining the ability to fly for a short time, and it increases the power of the phoenix flame by 100%. and the attack range increases by 50%. This is the third soul skill, Soaring Phoenix Wings. The fourth spirit ring lights up. Ma Hongjin circled Lucky Xingyu in the air. Hot magma erupted from the ground and soared into the sky. Cover the star feathers in it, causing continuous damage. Then transformed into a huge evil fire phoenix. Falling from the sky, it hits Lucky Xingyu, causing the second damage scorching waves. The temperature increases accordingly in order to avoid casualties and damage. The teacher of the academy took action to dissolve the remaining power of the soul skill. When everything returned to calm, Xingyu was not damaged at all. Ma Hongjin landed on the ring and knelt down on one knee. A lot of soul power was consumed, and the breath was weak slowly. Thousands of people under the ring showed excited expressions. He didn't know about Ma Hongjin, one of the Shrek 7 monsters. What kind of ratings and rewards can I get? On the ring, Ma Hongjin came to the futon. Taking a deep breath, he bowed and said, "Senior, I'm done attacking. I don't know my attack. What rating did I get?" Lin Feng looked up at Ma Hongjin. A series of red words appeared in his mind. Character, Ma Hongjin. Attack damage, 25,631. Rating, C. Reward, a phoenix pill. Remarks, after being taken by a soul master with a fire attribute martial soul, the martial soul will be cleared of impurities, evolved, and its soul power will be greatly improved. Lin Feng said, "Ma Hongjin, congratulations on your 25,631 damage, rated C. The reward is a phoenix pill." After the words fell, a light blue ball of light appeared in his hand. Flying in front of Ma Hongjin, it turned into a red pill. Thousands of people in the audience showed shocked expressions when they heard the C rating, and they were full of envy. Unexpectedly, Ma Hongjin had the same rating as Liena, the holy maiden of the spirit hall. To be emotional and show off, his eyes were attracted by the red elixir exuding the aura of the phoenix in front of him. Intuition told him, as long as he took this phoenix pill, one's own strength will definitely be greatly improved. Many, thank you for the reward, senior. Ma Hongjin was short of breath, and stretched out his hand suddenly. Take the phoenix pill, stuff it into your mouth, and swallow it. Immediately, a terrifying medicinal power erupted. Ma Hongjin's whole body was wrapped in monstrous flames. The evil fire phoenix martial soul condensed automatically. Period. Hovering above the ring, it eventually evolved into a fire phoenix with 9 heads. With a long howl, it carried the terrifying coercion of an ancient alien species. Instantly enveloped the entire Shrek Academy square. Except for Lin Feng, the martial souls in everyone's body felt trembling. Trembling, as if being suppressed in the dark. At the same time, the breath of soul power on Ma Hongjin's body jumped from level 49 to level 50. Bottleneck. The 9 fire phoenix spirits hovering in the air merged into his body, turned into his 5th soul ring, a soul ring with a little red glow in the deep black rose. The age of this soul ring has reached 90,000 years. Such a shocking, incredible scene. It made the faces of everyone in the entire square change drastically, and they could not be calm for a long time. However, the effect of Phoenix Pill is not over yet. Promoted. The continuous improvement of Ma Hongjin's soul power finally stopped at level 55. The flames gradually dissipated, and the spirit ring was put away. Ma Hongjin clenched his hands into fists, and there was a sharp look in his eyes. His appearance has become a little more handsome than before. In terms of momentum, it has skyrocketed several times. Standing on the ring at this moment, he became the focus of the audience. Many young female students under the ring showed admiration. Ma Hongjin exhaled heavily. Feeling the changes in his body carefully, his face showed joy. He took a few steps and took one step at a time, and knelt down on his knees in front of the futon. Knocking his head hard 3 times, he said gratefully, "Ma Hongjin, thank you senior for rewarding the Phoenix Pill. Not only help me get rid of the impurities contained in the evil fire phoenix, evolve my martial soul into 9-headed fire phoenix, leap to become an ancient alien species, and break through the Soul King in strength. In the end, I got a soul ring with a limit of 90,000 years. Senior, you will be my reborn parents from now on." Ma Hongjin is willing to be a cow and a horse for the senior, to repay the kindness. Everyone looked at Ma Hongjin, who was so excited and was moved. Get rid of the impurities of the martial soul, and the martial soul evolves, obtained a 90,000-year soul ring. And the soul power soared by 6 levels. Who wouldn't want to recognize his father for such a huge benefit? It is worthwhile to recognize the ancestors, or make a promise in person. It's really envious of others, but it's a pity that lucky stars are hard to find. Although Ma Hongjin and Liena are both rated C, 2. Phoenix Pill is strong in being able to evolve a martial spirit, giving a 90,000-year-old spirit ring to enhance the spirit power. The advantage of the 100,000-year spirit ring bestowed by God is that the spirit ring can be given as a gift and absorbed at any time. Yu Xiaogang clenched his fist tightly. I'll look forward to accepting the Star Official Challenge later. You can also get the elixir that solves the defects of the martial soul. That way he can get rid of the infamy of being a trash, and become a man from now on. Flender saw the change in Ma Hongjin. His old eyes were red, and he cried while hugging Zhao Wuji next to him. I feel very gratified that the defect of the martial soul on the little fat man has finally been resolved. On the ring, Lin Feng stared at the eyes and knelt on the ground. Ma Hongjin, crying for his father and mother, said, Ma Hongjin. Phoenix Pill is you who accepted the Star Officials Challenge. It's based on the damage rating I played. You don't have to thank me. Get up. However, Ma Hongjin not only did not get up. Instead, he knelt and crawled over, crossing Lin Feng's legs. One of them was pulled out. Hold poor Zixi tightly and say, Senior, both of Ma Hongjin's parents died when he was young. He was taken in by Dean Flender and grew up in Shrek Academy to ask Senior, can you also give Dean Flender a chance to accept the challenge of the Star Officer? As long as Senior agrees, Ma Hongjin is willing to serve Senior forever, pour tea and water, do laundry and cook, work hard and be on call, 4 hours a day, but he didn't finish his nonsense. He was kicked and flew out by Lin Feng with a black face. Lin Feng said angrily, get out. Then, he waved his right hand. The power of the mysterious and unpredictable formation blasted down a big fat man. Flender, the dean of Shrek Academy, flew over from a tall building. Although Ma Hongjin didn't ask for the chance to accept the Star Officials Challenge for him, but this intention has already moved him badly, and he said excitedly, Hongjin, you little fat man, even if you are a little bit filial, Flender, did not love you in vain. Tomorrow you will go to the finance department to receive a year's salary. Remember not to go to the Galen, it will hurt your body. Flender came to the edge of the ring, and hurried over to help Ma Hongjin up. But it was overtaken by a group of young female students. They rushed forward, surrounded Ma Hongjin and shouted enthusiastically, Senior Ma, are you okay? Are you injured? Ouch, I really feel sorry for you. Come on, take a break on the chest of the junior girl. Dai Sanba, get the hell out of here. Senior Ma, my arms are more comfortable, come to me. Suddenly, there was chaos under the ring. This scene made my jaw drop. Whether it was the Soul Masters who came to watch the battle, or the teachers and students of Shrek Academy, they were dumbfounded. Only Ma Hongjin, who was surrounded by the gentleness of his schoolgirls, went to heaven happily. The mouth is grinning to the ear, and I didn't expect that I would be so popular. The little fat man felt that his life had reached its peak and climax at this moment. So high at this time, above the sky the attack challenge monument Liena became the second place. The first place was occupied by Ma Hongjin. P.S. The first change, January 4th. Chapter 20. Ma Hongjin was taught a lesson. Liena broke into Shrek Academy, and we played ball on the futon in the center of the ring. Lin Feng watched Ma Hongjin surrounded by a group of young female students. I really regret opening the Star Official Challenge for this color embryo. He has never enjoyed this kind of treatment. It was worse than killing him. But when I think of the looks and figures of these female students, it is completely incomparable with Liena. My heart was instantly balanced. Sometimes it is not the quantity that is better, but the quality that matters. Under the ring, Flender's face was covered with black lines. Coldly shouted, how decent are you like this? Hurried back to their original positions. Ma Hongjin's expression was unfinished. The schoolgirl's arms are soft and fragrant. He hasn't had enough fun yet. But when he turned his head, he saw Flender with a cold face. Hastily walked over. Charming said, Dean, I heard what you just said about asking me to go to the finance department to receive a year's salary tomorrow. Then I would like to thank the dean here. The dean really deserves to be the person I, Ma Hongjin, admired the most in my life. It's good for me. But before he finished speaking, Flender yelled at him, get lost. Then he turned around and walked in the direction of Yu Xiaogang and Liu Erlong. Ma Hongjin touched his nose and felt aggrieved, not knowing what went wrong at this time. A female student secretly threw a small round mirror at him. The little fat man looked at himself in the mirror and became extremely handsome. The mouth is grinning to the ears. The right hand kept Moswo's chin. And various passes were smugly deliberately walked in front of the female student. Putting his hands on the back of his hands, he put on an inscrutable look. In an instant, a group of female students screamed again and again. Ma Hongjin was in high spirits. His swollen belly trembled. I feel that I am full of energy and have found the meaning of life. Even with his eyes closed at this time, he can still guess the admiring gazes from the schoolgirls, which is really cool. But not long after, Zhao Waoqi, who couldn't stand it anymore, came over and slapped him on the ground. He grabbed his left foot and dragged it away, rubbing his whole face against the ground frantically, as embarrassing as he could be. There were bursts of laughter and cursing around. Ma Hongjin wished he could find a hole to get in. The image that was so hard to establish was ruined like this. Yi Qingji. On the other side, outside Shrek Academy, Liena came here on a white horse. Behind her are the titled Douluo elders such as Yuguan and Ghost Person. Liena frowned, but still took out a storage bag and threw it over. Who would have thought that the storage bag was thrown back? A Shrek Academy teacher who was guarding the gate apologized and said, "I hope that the Holy Maiden will forgive me. I've received an order from the dean that no one related to the Hall of Spirits is allowed to enter Shrek Academy today." Liena rode the white horse with no intention of getting off, looked at the man with a sneer and said, "Oh? Is Flender this crazy now? How dare you openly shout about the Spirit Hall, be an enemy of my Spirit Hall?" The Shrek Academy teacher looked nervous, and quickly explained, "I also hope that the Holy Maiden will forgive me. Shrek Academy dare not provoke the Hall of Spirits, only." Before the words fell, a man's majestic voice came from a distance, "By the order of Emperor Zuyi, no one related to the Hall of Spirits is allowed to enter Shrek Academy today." Everyone followed the reputation, and the person who came was the general of the Heaven Dao army guarding the Heaven Dao city. Come with a brave and invincible Heaven Dao army. Seeing this, the teacher of Shrek Academy was relieved. Liena frowned, her eyes were cold. The next moment, Ghost Leopard Douluo shouted anxiously, "Look, everyone, the challenge golden monument in the air." The first place of the Holy Maiden was taken away by Ma Hongjin. Titled Douluo such as Yuguan and Gimli looked up hurriedly, full of anger. Liena's face was even more frosty, and she shouted loudly, "Grandpa Chrysanthemum, Grandpa Ghost, all elders, please also open the way for me. I must enter Shrek Academy today. No matter who dares to block it, kill. None. Forgive me." Her words paused word by word, revealing the anger in her heart at this moment. "Nana, put it on us." Yuguan nodded, and flew into the air with ghosts, ghost leopards, devil bears, and sea turtles. The 5 titled Douluo had 9 powerful soul rings appearing under their feet. The terrifying soul power suppressed the audience. All the people in front of the gate fell to the ground and lost the ability to resist. Liena drove immediately the white horse into Shrek Academy around and leave quickly, pretending that you haven't been here. He couldn't even beat him for a month. It's pure looking for abuse if you hit 5. Shrek Academy, on the square arena. Lin Feng looked at Ma Hongjin who was dragged away by Zhao Waoqi. I was very relieved. Just when he was about to let Yu Ziagang come up to accept the challenge of the star official voice, Senior, I'm here to accept the star officer's challenge. Lin Feng immediately guessed who it was, with a smile on the corner of his mouth. Under the arena, thousands of people followed the prestige. Someone recognized Liena's identity. "Didn't you say that Shrek Academy doesn't let people from the Hall of Spirits enter today? Why is Liena, the saint of Wuhun Temple, here? Wait, didn't Liena accept the Star Officer's challenge yesterday? Why did you come to accept the Star Officer's challenge again today?" You may not know, but Liena also accepted the Star Officer's challenge the day before yesterday. If today is the same, then it will be 3 days in a row. As a result, there were heated discussions around the arena. Everyone envied Liena. Liena completely ignored Yu Ziagang, Liu Erlong, and Flender who cast angry glances. After getting off the white horse, he trotted all the way to the ring. This makes look stupid. Why is the arena defensive formation not effective against Liena at all? What is the relationship between her and her predecessors? Thinking of Liena's repeated qualifications to accept the star official's challenge, it's hard not to let people's imagination run wild. Behind Zhao Wuji, Ma Hongjin shrank his head. "It's just that I'm afraid of something." He knew that his parents were dead. "I didn't expect to have a Haoshan Douluo father like Tang San. If this is targeted by Wuhundian, there will be 10 deaths and no life. Even if the Heavenly King and Lao Tzu come, they will not be able to save him. It took a lot of effort to become handsome, and it was too late to have sex with his schoolgirls." The little fat man really didn't want to die. On the futon in the center of the ring, Lin Feng looked at Liena who was trotting up ahead. He showed a calm expression, neither happy nor sad. He saw that Liena was about to arrive. Immediately blocked it with a barrier, said coldly, Keep a distance of 2 meters from me, Liena reacted, stuck out her tongue and said embarrassingly, "Sorry, senior, I forgot again and again." Then, "Stop at 2 meters night. I also hope that the seniors will not be disgusted and have a taste." Liena took out all the pastries, and pushed the compartment over from the ground. Lin Feng swallowed his saliva as he smelled the tempting fragrance. "In the end, I couldn't resist the temptation. Try picking up a piece of pastry, putting it in your mouth, and chewing lightly." His eyes narrowed into a crescent shape, with a look of enjoyment. Liena saw that the other party was willing to eat the cakes she made. The nervous heart before coming here is relieved. She suddenly discovered that watching the handsome guy eat is also a kind of enjoyment. "I am so happy such a scene was watched by thousands of people in the ring. Everyone is dumbfounded and stupid. Just the relationship between Liena and Senior have the same virtue, and they like to please men who can't possibly belong to them." When Yu Zhigang heard this sentence, he secretly thought it was over. He tried to pretend he didn't hear it. "But it was wrong because I was still breathing." The waist was pinched for no reason. His lips and teeth trembled in pain, but he still had to pretend to be fine. "Mada, I have provoked someone was scared to pee." Female Tyrannosaurus Liu Long, Liena Emo Shrek Academy, on the square arena. Lin Feng sat cross-legged and enjoyed eating pastries. In front of him was Liena, who was looking at him in an info. A proper little girl. Under the arena, thousands of people gathered here could only wait. Don't dare to disturb the seniors to eat. But seeing the superior, majestic and cold senior. But she is the only one who is so close to Liena, this piss off almost. "Don't women look good and have a good figure? It will be delicious. Know how to please men. Can you do whatever you want?" In the eyes of this woman, it is green tea behavior, which is shameful. After a while, Liena saw everyone that the other party's food was about the same. He looked up at the sky. The attack that originally belonged to him challenged the first place in the Golden Monument. It was actually snatched away by Ma Hongjin. And his eyes spewed fire and anger. He glared bitterly at Ma Hongjin, who was hiding behind Zhao Wuji. If looks could kill, Ma Hongjin has already been hacked into pieces. Everyone followed Liena's gaze and looked up at the Golden Monument. At this time, it was discovered that Ma Hongjin had taken away Liena's first place in the attack challenge to the Golden Monument, because tonight it was the third day that Liena was listed on the attack challenge monument. The first place will be rewarded with an A+ rating. The second place will be rewarded with a B+ rating. The third place will be rewarded with a C+ rating. It is known that both Liena and Ma Hongjin have received C ratings. The rewards are the 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by God and the Phoenix Pill. A C+ rating is always higher than a C rating. Not to mention B+ ratings and A+ ratings. That Liena wanted to kill Ma Hongjin. Flender walked to Ma Hongjin at this time. Although the little fat man was a little bit amused. But it is also the only seedling of the 7 Shreddy monsters left in the academy. It is the number 1 card of Shrek Academy, so nothing can happen. Otherwise, the number of students who come to Shrek Academy to sign up every year will decrease. How can he, the dean, fill his own pockets? Approaching. Immediately she shed tears of emotion. "Sad and indignant in my heart, third brother, die boss. At critical moments, they are not as good as the dean." Liena calmed down the unwillingness in her heart and calmed down. Attacking is her weakness. Even if you start another attack challenge today, it is also impossible to overtake Ma Hongjin and win the first place again. Soon, Lin Feng finished eating the pastries away the food box just as she was preparing to accept today's star official challenge. The breath of 5 title Douluo flew from a distance. Liena turned around and saw that it was Yuguan and the others, with joy on her face. Yu Zhigang and Liu Long, Flender, Zhao Wuqi. When the 4 of them saw Yuguan and the others flying over, their expressions changed drastically. Unexpectedly, Wuhun sensed so many title Douluo here. Academy Douluo did not prevent Liena from entering Shrek Academy. The other teachers and students of the academy also had soul masters who came here. He saw the title Douluo breath released from the 5 people in the air. Wuhun Temple, reminiscent of the order issued by Flender. Anyone related to Wuhun is not allowed to enter Shrek Academy today. This was obviously aimed at Liena, who was qualified to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Ma Hongjin saw so many Wuhun title Douluo. He panicked completely and felt his crotch was cold. "When I looked down, I realized that I was scared to pee." Smell. The 2 turned their heads to look at Ma Hongjin's birdie appearance, and their faces immediately turned black. Zhao Wuqi slapped him like a spinning top, turned 1080 degrees on the spot and fell to the ground, roared angrily, "Ma Hongjin, get out of here immediately." Stop embarrassing yourself here, monsters. To actually pee your pants in public, you are shameless, and Flender is even more shameless. Go back and think behind closed doors for a month. No coming out without my order. What the two said attracted the attention of many people around them. They all mocked and commented, gloating. How ugly the words are. Just when Ma Hongjin felt very wronged. But he found that Flender was secretly winking at himself, the oboe together. It is to send myself away in this dangerous situation. Immediately, Ma Hongjin's showman went online. After getting up, he slapped himself twice hard. With a remorseful look, he shouted, I know I was wrong, Dean, Teacher Zhao, I'll go back and face the wall and think about it, I'll go back now. Then, he left without looking back, not to mention how fast he ran. Liena kept staring at Ma Hongjin, didn't look back until the damn guy disappeared from sight. 5 titled Douluo including Yuguan and Gimri landed beside the ring. The 5 of them glanced at the direction Ma Hongjin left with murderous gazes. Seeing that the saint shook her head at them, she had no choice but to give up. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.